Hi, chat. Sorry we're a
Hello.
little late.
It's okay.
We was chatting about stuff and things. How you guys doing tonight?
Stuff and things. How are you doing? I'm good.
Also, chat, because some of you probably don't follow my Twitter or my streams, which is fine. I wanted to show you guys. I got legs.
You
Look at
got
'em.
legs. You can walk now. You got more than legs, didn't you?
I got legs. I got steppies. I got a tattoo because I wanted a tattoo. I feel like I deserve one.
Mizu
Mom, I need a
finally isn't
tattoo.
half of a nugget.
Yeah, apparently everyone kept saying I was a chicken nugget.
Oh, that's funny. I didn't say that.
I
You
had,
could have
se-
got some pretty neat art out of it.
I had several people call me a nugget.
Oh, really?
Yep. Dama kept calling me a nugget. When I sent Dama a picture, they said the wife isn't disabled anymore.
I mean, the first time you weren't disabled enough. Now you're just cured of your disability.
You're cured of your disability.
Yeah, what octopus
Oh.
witch did you make a contract with to get legs? I had my friend mention Ursula on Twitter, yes.
That's awesome.
Because
you
that's
could
the
say
first
me.
thing people can think. No, it wasn't you though. You know you didn't say that. It was Moshi.
No, I'm saying that like you could say I'm the one that you made a contract with.
I could, yeah. So have you guys gotten in any Twitter fights lately?
Me?
No, I don't fight with people on Twitter.
I fight with people all the time on Twitter.
I know you do.
I got one of the. I actually that's not entirely true. I got into a fight with a VTuber who's upset that like the Cinder stuff is still like being litigated, and they're like, I can't believe you're just as evil as Alara, and I'm just sitting here thinking, you are such a fucking retard. But all right.
Okay, now I'm curious. What the hell did Lara do that people are mad at her?
No, they're mad at me because they say I'm just as bad as Alara.
Oh, no.
Which is funny because again, it's just like I made a comment because Sparky, in all of his autistic wisdom, decided to make more comments about the Cinder stuff because he found out yesterday night that some of the screenshots in the Cinder doc were by Nanolist were doctored and stuff was removed from it that you could only see if you read the other docs. Like messages had been removed,
which was weird.
No, yeah, because like the messages that were. Did you see the message that he showed?
Yeah, to clarify,
was...
chat, the message that was removed was in the middle of a conversation, and removing the message doesn't like take away from Nano's argument at all that she's trying to make with the out of context screenshot. So it's really fucking weird that she took the time to edit it out.
Yeah, and it's just like he showed this, and I'm like, why? Like it really. What I hate is the Cinder drama is literally like until she comes back, which hey may happen soon because allegedly her Discord's opening up soon, but it's really dumb because the drama is over basically until that happens, but now people are slowly discovering more shit, and it's just like, how much more can you really find? And it's just the fact that we're finding this kind of shit now is just like it's still like a nothing burger until more happens, but it really does make you wonder if she was willing to edit out something so small and insignificant, what am I missing? You know?
Yeah.
And that's what I said today. It's just like, you know, if she's willing to do this, what's going on here?
Well, yeah, to ask the question, why are they editing this at all? Like, it's a very weird thing that they did it.
No, I agree. I 100% agree. And it's just like, again, I don't like... I think that's a thing that constantly has to be restated because everybody's like, oh, you fan of Cinder? It's like, no, I don't think I ever said that I was a fan of Cinder.
I don't know.
think
At this point, I'm buying the Cinder card.
Are you actually?
No, it's probably expensive as shit right now.
It's actually $100 more expensive than the Shy Lily card. They have like made her card more scarce, and it's kind of funny.
Yeah.
So,
You know,
and that's the thing that's... Oh, go ahead.
It's like at this point, granted, from the beginning of this stupid drama, I really haven't cared about it. Because again,
No.
women out of my tax bracket, they have so much money they could probably buy me 3 times.
No, that's completely fine, and I'm not saying that you
I'm-
should care.
Yeah, it's just I'm starting to get annoyed of seeing all about it. That's why I have every single possible keyword that can link back to any of that shit muted on Twitter. I'm like, nope, I don't want to see it.
No,
The only
that's
thing that
completely fine.
bypasses it is fucking pictures, and I'm like, I'm just gonna start muting whole accounts.
That's
Lumi's
completely
gonna mute
fine.
me, chat.
You're the only exception. I'll mute everybody else though.
Oh, that's mean. What about me?
Well,
You're part of that exception.
my
Oh,
thing
okay.
is I feel like I'm gonna have to talk about it again in like a sideways way, because I say this all the time, but there are rules to how you handle like drama and commentary content that aren't necessarily like immediately apparent to people.
Yeah.
But like it's stuff you should have kind of figured it out, right? By the time you're actually starting to make videos on it. But a lot of people don't seem to have figured it out yet.
Now, when you say that, are these rules that are kind of like, are these Mizu rules, or are these rules that are kind of like an unspoken thing for that the entire community kind of follows?
I would
Or should
say
follow?
they should be unspoken rules everybody follows, but they end up being just Mizu rules because a lot of people are hypocrites and refuse to like be honest about stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Well, like for example, I think everybody here agrees kind of you should take an innocent until proven guilty kind of mindset to things. And
I
that's like an
agree.
unspoken rule when it comes to accusations. Yet how many people actually follow that?
Not very many people. I mean, I try to.
Yeah.
Hell, even with the Cameron stuff that I've been like backing away from recently, I'm just like, listen, I feel like this guy is not guilty until like you know what I mean. So it's just like,
Yeah.
but everybody's already decided what the truth is, so it's just like you can't really stop people from that.
But for me, it's one of those rules where it's like,
Mm-hmm.
it should be everybody believes in it, but the reality is people just kind of suck and they're not going to do that.
Yeah.
But I want to do a video
Yeah.
on that again. I've done it once, but it was
excited.
kind of like a sidebar thing to other content. I didn't really
Yeah.
like focus hard on it. I want to like write down a list.
No, I definitely think you should make that kind of video.
I just thought it'd be interesting, maybe.
I'll be interested to see. I'll listen to it.
But yeah, chat,
listen to it for
this week
sure.
is all, other than the Cinder stuff, it's just the indies fighting back and forth. And the Cinder stuff has really riled up a lot of people.
It has.
There was a one stupid fucking post that I had just seen randomly last night while I was just like, while I was yapping with Mizu, I was like, yeah, there really wasn't much going on this week. And then I see some fucking schizo posting. I'm like, the fuck is this? Then I see someone got blacklisted from a group, and I'm like, the fuck is this? And I'm just like,
Wait, is this in relation to Cinder?
no, this is something
Okay,
else.
good. I heard that there was another Google Doc that came out recently.
What, in relation to Cinder?
No. Just in
Well,
general.
no, there's been a couple Google Docs that came out.
I only seen one. But also, I've just been playing Final Fantasy all week and taking a break off Twitter.
You kind of like kept your hat in the sand. You playing a lot of 14.
I don't care. I'm gonna enjoy my game.
I will. The last
you
thing I
gotta-
will say on the Cinder thing, because some of you guys don't like follow my Twitter, which is fine. A bunch of people, because of a certain criticism I laid at a certain person, have been trying to say that I'm basically like the right-wing version of Invented or Short Fat Otaku.
Now, short fat
Okay, that's
otaku
funny.
is definitely an insult, but I don't know, invented definitely not. You have to kind of like ask for some life ruination before that happens, and I think that the people who are doing that are bad faith, in my opinion.
Yeah, I made
Oh.
like one tweet about somebody, and they're like, "You're basically just Invented now." And it's like, okay, yeah, sure. Is whatever.
It is. It is.
I saw that
You
music,
know,
that was hilarious. Which one?
You know, I think just because of the you being right wing bent, you should there should just be a really cursed art of you and Bent making out.
I'm good. I
Yeah,
don't
but
want
Ben-
that.
Bent doesn't have any real art of themselves. They're not a VTuber.
I know. Just use his current avatar.
I
Mizu
think
is
it's an anime
right-wing.
girl.
I'm probably the most right-wing one here. I won't define
you?
how far right, though.
Are you really? I thought that was Lumi. She is the Nazi.
Just because I'm possibly related to one doesn't mean I am. God.
Just because
Actually-
I look like one doesn't mean I am.
Actually, now that I think about it, I'm the only one that's had an article written about them that puts them right next to Nazis. So I feel like I'm the most Nazi one here. Or most right-leaning, excuse me. Basically the same thing, according to Twitter.
Of course, the femboy is right-wing. Look, Chan, I have my business. I have my business, you have your business.
Indeed.
I will not disclose my voting history.
Well, you shouldn't. I don't think any of us really here have.
Yeah, I don't need my house getting firebombed by Bent. So mermen are now Hitler adjacent?
Exactly.
I mean, we do have an ethno-state underwater.
So that's what those letters in the mail are.
Well, I mean, like, who else are we gonna let into the Atlantean ethno-state? Nobody.
Oh goodness, that's hilarious.
But would you two like to tell chat about your week while I go pee? Because I have to go pee in bed.
Yeah, Lumi, how about you go first?
Okay. Well, I haven't really been doing too much this week. I got to yap with the Pontius the other day about Warhammer and his new video and everything. It was quite fun.
Mm-hmm.
Playing games, playing lots of Final Fantasy 14 again.
I know, that's all. Every time I see on Discord, that's all you're doing.
Yes. I will continue to do so.
Yeah.
It's like, did the game fucking suck when Dawn Trail first came out? Yes. But then I've just been mass crafting and enjoying the new field operations. It's been great.
Kind of sad that it has to get to crafting in order for it to be enjoyable for some people again. But you know what? Some people just enjoy crafting, period.
Well, crafting is fun and I like making money.
You like making virtual money. There's a bit of a difference there, but yeah. LumLum has been spelling a lot of feet. Oh, really?
No.
I didn't know that.
Gross.
Did you see that foot tattoo that somebody got on Twitter that I sent you?
I ignored it.
You ignored it. You wouldn't even open it.
Nope.
Uh-oh, is the chat... Wait, is the chat okay?
Yeah.
Oh, Mizu just poofed from the stream. Are we still live? Hold
Yeah, I
on.
don't know. Shut up, phone.
Yeah, we're still live. Okay. Let's see. How's my week gone? My week has been interesting. I've kind of like danced all over the smaller commentary community area because of my covering of the new content cop guy. And that's been very interesting. I've what is the word? I have unwittingly attracted the attention of a lot of commentary individuals, and I didn't do it on purpose, definitely. It's been really interesting. For those that don't know, there is a new content cop guy in town, and his name is Cameron F305. He used to be the music guy for Yandere Simulator. And Lumi, I'm pretty sure you know who Yandev is, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think like most women on the internet that like were on to some degree probably know who that is. But basically, this guy makes the new content cop, and then like people start to figure out that he had a bit of a crazy past, and a girl that he had a fling with that also like was allegedly being groomed by Yandev came out and said that Cameron did SA against her, and he did the one thing that you should never do when you're trying to disprove these allegations, and that is start talking to everybody. He started by talking to me, and then he talked to a whole bunch of other commentary people who definitely don't have his best interests in heart. And it's just been like a lot of... It's been a lot of gunk, in my personal opinion, but I think he's going to be quiet now. He told me recently that he's just going to focus on making his next video, and so that's good, I think.
His problem was thinking commentary people care.
Yeah, well, his problem was thinking the commentary people would like come to his aid, and they didn't. They didn't whatsoever. So, like,
Well, I mean, that's kind of what I mean by care. The reality is they don't
Yeah.
care whether or not it's true. They care that it's a super juicy story that's going to get clicks because his name is all in the TV.
pretty
Yep.
much. And like, what's funny is me and Ava were kind of just like sitting there telling I was like, bro, you're a fucking moron if you continue to do this. And I'm not. I told him, and then I kind of said it on stream yesterday. I'm not willing to platform this because if I keep letting him on my platform, he's going to keep like crashing out. He's going to keep having issues. He's going to keep saying things that commentary people. Dude, I've had my face plastered all over so many commentary channels just because he's come on my show more times than everybody else's, and I didn't even try. It's just so bizarre to me. So like, oh. I don't get it. I legitimately don't get it. But he told me recently that he's just gonna be quiet and work on his shit. So that's good. Apparently he's gonna have a new video out soon.
That's for the best for them.
Yeah.
Still, though, it was
Like-
he was done with how he handled it.
I agree. I did want to ask you, Mizu, since you kind of like observed a lot of the shit that was talked about. What do you think about the situation outside of what you just said?
I only observed like the start of it. I didn't keep track of all the streams he was on with you.
Fair
Not that
enough,
I don't
fair
like
enough.
your streams, but like I
It's not. Oh, I don't care. Listen, I know that like it's got to be interesting. I only tune into you guys when you guys are talking about something that I'm interested in. No offense. I just don't always have.
You don't watch
time.
every single stream of mine, even while you're alive. You hate me.
Exactly.
Kidding.
Exactly. No, I'm just not.
I just
Listen,
don't
we
like the
play a lot of-
commentary people. I think a lot of their drama is very boring and very like nothing burger across the board.
Oh, I 100% agree. I think a lot of the drama that they get themselves involved in is very dumb as well. Like, one thing I will say is I do agree with Chud Logic where he came out and said, do we really need to be talking about Ethan Klein every day? Come on now. And it's just like, yes, we don't need to talk about Ethan Klein every single fucking day. He's boring, and he's exactly the same as he was a couple years ago. So please find something new to talk about.
Speaking of Ethan and stupid people covering drama, did you guys see that Sylvie is starting to put his hand in the
did.
drama pot?
I did. I thought that was. Did you guys see that he like mentioned us on stream because of Okay, so this is really hilarious. Let me see if I can find the clip because I kind of want it to be played. So he saw Royan. Okay, here I'm gonna forward this to shooting the shit. Hold on. We need to. I want you guys to play this. Although it should be fine because he is like on Twitch, so it should be fine for him for you to view that, show that on screen. I want this to be shared because there's some like backstory to this that is really hilarious.
Oh boy, howdy.
I didn't think there was backstory to it.
It's like minor backstory. It's just like anyway, play the clip and then I'll kind of explain it because like it'll be funny.
Okay. The button that lets me just pop this out.
Y'all are getting famous. I don't know why people just continuously talk about us and shit when like we really just stay in our own corner of things.
I guess I apparently am not. Like the more that I just slowly engage with things, the further out, deeper I go. It really is not lost on me that smaller commentary people have put my face on their screen and like literally their audience is begging for them to put Anthony Fauci over me so they don't have to see my avatar. That is something that legitimately happened. Like there's this commentary guy named Aiden who started commentary when he was 16, so he should not be on the internet in my personal opinion because he's like 19 now. And he like was watching my whole stream and he put like a picture of Fauci on screen because all of his audience was like, we don't want to look at this anime person. He's like, guys, stop gooning to the anime person. Just get over it. All right, go ahead. I'm watching.
Yeah, it's 1 sec. By the way, chat, this is as loud as it'll go. I have tried to make it louder. Like I even did it on my own. I showed this on my own stream earlier this week. For some reason, it's just quiet as shit.
Yeah.
I don't know why. But just so you all know, this is genuinely max volume for this.
I think if you turn off your music, it'll help.
No, the music's obviously going off, but it's still. I've played it on my stream and people couldn't hear it very well. It's just that
fair
quiet.
enough. Can I just say, by the way, is that like a 2D or a 3D model that he has?
I think it's 2D, but I don't know.
Interesting.
So I want to see who this person is now. I like to look at the people the individuals. Oh, pardon me. Oh, they're a fucking. Oh no, they're a fucking Underthetea fanboy. Oh shit.
He doesn't know.
Oh no, she. They're oh no, they're Mama Occo's girlfriend. Oh shit. Oh no. Oh no. Yes, the fucking what a wonderful resource to use. Mama Occo's girlfriend. God damn.
Oh, it's beautiful.
God damn. What other shit do they post?
But that was it.
So minor he is Ryan is not actually my girlfriend. He did that specifically. He told me specifically that he put that in his profile to fuck with people, and it worked. He fucked with the right person. Ryan, by the way, chat, Ryan's not my girlfriend. I know we've got some fan art, but like Ryan is not my girlfriend. That'd be pretty damn funny though. Oh, that was really beautiful. Oh goodness. But yeah, that was great. That was absolutely fantastic. But yeah, so Sylvie is like getting into drama now. Probably because he recognizes that it is a good avenue for him. As with a lot of people talking. What's funny is he talks about drama slap channels, and he himself is like jumping right into it. It's really hilarious to me, you know.
Yeah.
You know, I had to take a phone call, so I did not hear any of that.
What? You didn't hear any of that? I'm so upset. Let me
give me a tilde what he said.
I'm not here. Let me. You listen to it, and I'm gonna take Occo down like a side path.
Okay.
But here's a complete side path for you, chat, that I'm thinking about. Did you see that people were talking about like showering habits on Twitter?
No, I did not.
People are mad because somebody said that can we like normalize people showering and putting on deodorant before they go to school?
Okay.
And it's like, okay, yeah. But then somebody says, why would you shower before school? Just shower at night. And a whole bunch of people were like, why in the world would you shower at night? You're just going to be dirty by the morning. And I saw this was like a huge like thing a bunch of people believed. And I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? You're going to be dirty by the morning. What are you doing while you're sleeping?
The only way I could imagine that is if like you're sweating while you're asleep because your AC, like me, because my AC is not working properly. But otherwise, no, I shower when I get home from work, because when I get home from work, I'm fucking sweaty as hell. So it's just like, I'm not going to carry that sweat with me to the bed.
Yeah.
I mean, if I need to shower in the morning, I will. But
what if I was like, you're just getting in bed and getting dirty? And it's like, the fuck are you talking about? What do you mean? Do you not clean your sheets?
I do.
If you get into bed clean, your sheets aren't going to get as dirty as fast. And you aren't going to get dirty because your sheets aren't dirty. Like, what are you talking about?
That does make me wonder, how often do you guys feel like it's appropriate to clean your sheets?
At least once a month.
Once a month? Yeah.
I think that's
every other month.
Every other month? I've kind of circulated in between it. Because all my laundry gets done in one day, it typically happens like once or twice a month or every other month. It really depends on how bad the summer is, I'll be honest with you. Asmongold doesn't use deodorant. You know what's crazy is some people don't need deodorant as badly. Like,
I don't think you do if
it
you're
really
someone like
depends.
Asmongold who doesn't leave your house.
well,
I'm just saying, like, maybe I'm misunderstanding, like, the purpose of deodorant, but the primary purpose is to, like, cut down on sweat, right, and make you smell like not shit. But if you're not leaving your house, it doesn't really matter. You're not getting sweaty unless your house is hot as shit and you don't have AC.
I guess so,
And
yeah.
you don't really need to smell nice for other people because you're not leaving anywhere.
I mean, I try to do it in the mornings because I don't notice it, but like I remember one time when I was at work when I was brand new, and I had forgotten to use deodorant for the day because I was trying to get out the door, and my boss was like, "Hey, are you all right?" And I'm like, "Yeah." They're like, "Well, you smell like you're already sweating to death." I'm like, "Oh dear, I'm so sorry."
Yeah, like,
I've forgotten it.
stated
One
purpose
day.
on the deodorant bottle is just reduce underarm wetness. It's literally the only
Yeah.
purpose this supposedly serves, according to the official testimony.
Yeah.
And also, deodorant is getting expensive as hell.
Well, just buy men deodorant. Women deodorant is more expensive, don't you know? Because
Yeah, but women deodorant smells better.
It depends. I've had some what was it? Some nice.
I'm not getting rid of my
men-smelling
lavender
ones.
Dove.
I'm not saying you have to.
That
but, like,
degree in
Dr.
axe
Squatch,
shit smells awful.
Dr. Squatch actually has pretty good deodorant, in my personal opinion. I
Oh,
love
that's
the
what
body
makes
soaps.
sense.
No, they're really good. Listen, last
Mhm.
year my dad gave me like 20 bars of soap for not for my birthday, for Christmas, excuse me. And I haven't gone through very many of them yet. But like he also gave me deodorant. Because my dad gets a lot and he just gives me some of the excess. I don't know if he has a subscription box to it or whatever, but like he has quite a lot of soap and he's just like, here's the spares, Occo.
Antiperspirant or deodorant? Look, chat, my bottle says both. It literally says at the bottom, antiperspirant deodorant. I just assumed it came as like a package deal. I don't normally read the deodorant. You don't really have to read much. It's like, oh, that looks like a nice scent. They all
Yeah.
do the same thing.
I mean, it's like hell. At this point, I'm just ready to just get some Dawn dish soap. So, just like,
Wash
okay,
under your
good.
arms.
I don't know if that would work the same. Would it?
While
was under
we're
the
on this side
impression-
tangent of cleaning products, am I the only one that for the longest time did not know you aren't supposed to, like, use Q-tips in your ears?
You're not supposed to, but I do anyway.
I
How else am I supposed
yeah.
to clean my ears?
Well, I understand like why. Because if you push too hard, you are just going to push that earwax back and block your ear canals. Because I think that's kind of what happened to me for a little while, where I was using the Q-tips and then I noticed some significant ear loss, and then I like got an object that wasn't like a puffy tip, and just started to like gently clean around, and I noticed that there was like so much like gunk down there that it like kept me from hearing. And then once I cleaned it out, I like could hear massively. So I think there's professional tools for that. That allow you to get deep in there without like obstructing your ear canal. You know what I mean?
You see what Grok made for this VTuber?
Wait, what?
Oh,
This one, and somebody.
Oh, I saw that. Okay, so there is a trend right now where some people on the internet, and I know that like these people are targeting VTubers or artists that are anti-AI specifically, which makes it kind of funny. Where they will ask Grok to do stuff like this, and then the artist will get very pissed off. It's kind of funny. It is kind of funny seeing like an LGBT flag and a Jewish flag with JD Vance's weird next to it. What did Alice say in response to this? This is
Jesus Christ. That's it. Lamau Jesus Christ.
I mean, it is kind of funny, not gonna lie. It is kind of crazy though, seeing how Grok is getting more and more advanced like that. It's kind of creepy also.
Let me see. Yeah, that's safe enough. Here, chat, I will share this with you.
Beautiful.
It's a beautiful Grok image that they produced for Alice.
I swear
Super
I've seen
chat
their
for
account a couple
5 from
times.
Wolf Spain. It nearly ruptured my eardrum because of Q-tips when I was 12. Never again. Accidentally fell in on the sofa with the Q-tip in my ear because of my cousin. What?
See, that's not really like
I don't think that's the Q-tip's fault at that point.
No, it's not. That's like a.
That's a you
I won't even
problem.
say. Yeah, it's not even a user error. That's just your brother or whatever.
Urasama versus Grok, who wins? Yeah.
Probably Neurosama. She's got more experience.
I think Grok
You think Grok?
got more money backing it.
Hmm. How misogynistic. Won't let the female AI win. Hmm.
Mega skill issue.
Okay. While we're on the topic, can we talk about Lumi? You sent me a DM saying how apparently how you think that Hasan is definitely going to get a VTuber model soon. Can you tell me like what kind of like started that opinion?
First time was when Hasan replied to something that Mouse did.
Mm-hmm.
And then also her, Connor. And people think that he is her boyfriend at this point, which I would be inclined to agree, to be fucking honest.
I thought he
It's
had
also-
like a girlfriend.
I thought Iron Mouse was married.
Fuck if I know.
She has a
Anyways.
kid.
So, there's plenty of single mothers out there. Anyways.
Fair play.
What else is there? Oh yeah, Connor being friends with him, and now she's friends with a singer that recently in one of his music videos was doing something with OTK.
Yeah.
And in the video, he was like, "Oh, this was filmed before I found out that one of these people have opinions or beliefs of something that I'm against." And it's censored Asmongold.
Yeah. I saw that. That was kind of funny.
Oh, that was the BB&O whatever?
I don't know
Yeah.
who that guy is. Is that like a really big... Should I care about that guy? Because I like have started seeing him pop up and he looks like not that interesting to me.
He has 808k followers on Twitter.
Yeah, but like why do people care about him?
He does music.
Okay.
Yeah,
Is it
it's
good
like
music?
he lets artists and other people use his music without the fear of copyright and everything. He's very popular with artists and everything. He does decent music. I like listening to it whenever it came across my feed.
Uh-huh.
But now I'm just like, ugh.
I'd rather
So he's
listen
like-
to the fat rap.
And,
He's like a
and I-
copyright-free
and
guy.
it's like,
then.
I guess he also hangs out with Hasan Orbiters, so I'm like, ugh.
Well, so you say that Hasan is going to get a VTuber model. I'm obviously hoping not, but like my thing is I am noticing a decline with Hasan. Hasan is slowly losing relevance and he is losing popularity because I do believe that he's outstayed his welcome with a lot of people and he has burned a lot with a lot of people. Considering his most recent ban and how the ADL is treating him, I'm of the opinion that he is now on the decline. Well, I mean, I feel like he has been on the decline for a while, and maybe you guys can offer opinions on that. But I feel like he's just going to fade into irrelevancy soon-ish, maybe within the next year or two, because Asmongold has already overtaken him in most views, and he's now also got less views than H3H3 on his podcast. So I am just feeling like he's going to go down into irrelevancy slowly.
I haven't heard his music once. He has a dumbass artist name. Look, when it comes to a musician who allows YouTubers to use their music freely, he will never be E-double. E-double will always be king of that genre.
Fair enough. I'm always just a really big fan.
I know for a
of
fact you have no
Epidemic.
idea who that is.
No,
Yeah,
I
have no
don't.
idea who that is.
I will have to play some of his music for you later.
Fair enough.
E-double got majorly popular off that because he allowed people to freely use his music. Unfortunately, E-Double was taken from this world too early because of a chronic illness.
Mhm.
But he was, especially like in Call of Duty circles, very popular.
Ah, okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. Fair enough.
E-Double? No, double like D-U-B-B-L-E. He even made like a record label, Black Paisley Records.
Mm.
I forget what he died
it's not-
from. It was like a really rare illness though that they basically like they couldn't fix it, sort of deal.
Was it cancer AIDS?
What was it? It's gotta be here on here somewhere.
I'm betting it's cancer AIDS. But no, like while you're looking for that, I feel like a lot of people have correctly gauged that if Iron Mouse gets Hasan to do a VTuber thing, she's gonna start getting to be loathed by the VTuber sphere as a general. Because I do think that the VTuber sphere is slowly shifting the prominent voices, and I think that like or hate Kirsha, it is kind of her fault to where now we are seeing more people speak out about their values, good values in my personal opinion. And I think that if Iron Mouse was dumb enough to make Hasan a VTuber, a lot of people would start to hate her. So I don't know. Maybe that's why that doesn't happen yet. Maybe she's looking at all the vitriol against him and saying, you know what, that's not worth it. But if it does happen, she will get shit. Like 100% she'll get shit for it. And I would advise against that, obviously.
Either that or the model's being made and it's not time to debut yet.
It's possible. I just don't want it to happen. But by the same token, I think it would. I think that it would definitely ruffle all of the right feathers in the VTuber sphere. I think she's smart enough. She already made Ludwig a VTuber. I don't really have that same amount of trust. I'm sorry. Ludwig's not as bad as Hasan, but he is still bad in my personal opinion. Because he's a cuck for the content.
I always thought it was weird because everyone was talking about how like good Ludwig's model was, but they were all using the excuse like, well, he spent a lot of money on it. It's like that doesn't necessarily make it good. Because I saw his model, I didn't think it was a particularly good one.
It was all right.
I think it was only expensive because it got to turn around.
Yeah.
Oh no, yeah. If the fact that it got to turn around and take a piss on Connor, that was kind of funny. But by the way, either way, it's just like it's an okay model. I just don't know
Ludwig
or care much about Ludwig.
Frogan. Oh, ew,
That's
gross.
right. No, yeah, he does like Frogan. Like I remember back during the beginning of the Sand People conflict, he was gonna make a donation to the Sand People. And Frogan was like, oh, if you're gonna like donate that little, you just shouldn't do it. And he like bowed down to her really quickly because like he's afraid of her.
He's streaming again.
The Shizzy? Oh yeah, I think Shizzy's always been streaming. It's just a matter of whether or not he's relevant. The answer is he's not.
Well, apparently he got banned a day ago and he got unbanned 6 hours ago.
Yes, he was banned and unbanned. Knowing him, you can make any inference for what he got banned for, but that is really funny.
I keep seeing these people that like banned for a day, and then on streamer ban, Shondo popped up the other day, and it's like banned for like 6 weeks.
What the fuck? What did Shondo do?
I believe it was like Shondo, who they had one that said like unbanned after like 3 or 4 weeks, and everybody was mad about it because like yeah, so she gets like 3 or 4 weeks for being silly. Hasan gets a literal 1-day ban for according to the own thing he shared on Twitter, supporting terrorism and reading terrorist manifestos.
Oh my goodness. So, side tangent, my apologies. You know, we all know that Persona 4 is being redone right now. It's like...
no,
like
we did not all
but
know. But now I do know.
Oh, fair enough. My apologies. But we know it's happening because 2 voice actors have come out and said that they are not part of it. And that was basically the confirmation that something is happening. Because Amanda Wynn Lee has come out and said that she is not being part of the remake either. It was her and like Lowenthal, Lori Lowenthal, I think is his name. And he was also in it as well. But I think they're both SAG actors. And that might be the reason. but they're not in the remake. So we're gonna get new people for the remake, basically.
Eh.
It's kind of funny.
I wanted to throw this out because this was a random story. We haven't even really gotten to the the story that Lumi had sent me earlier. But I wanted to throw this out because I'm assuming both of you saw this. Well, maybe not Lumi, because Lumi's been avoiding the evils of the internet for a hot minute.
Very fair.
But did you see that the organizers for Creator Clash 3 released that they would be taking the original 35% cut Ian and Anissa got and be putting it back into the event now that they weren't a part of it anymore?
Yes, I did. I'm actually planning on talking about that tomorrow.
So for those of you who don't know, the new event organizers for Creator Clash 3, I don't know if it was to like throw them under the bus or if it was to like stir shit or what exactly was going on, but they decided to release publicly that originally Anissa and Ian got a 34% cut of all the funds that Creator Clash 3 made.
That's a third, basically. Well, yeah, it's a third of all. Yeah, and it's really like bizarre to hear that was happening. Like when they came out and said, "Oh yeah, they get their third of the entire thing," and I was just sitting there like, "Wait a minute, year one they made $1.5 million. Are you telling me that they made 500 grand year one?" That's what it sounds like.
It was so wild to hear that. And people were just like, yeah, no, that's just how it is. It's like, what do you mean that's just how it is? What are you talking about?
Yeah, so like they're taking the 34% that they were supposed to get, and they're just going to divvy it up, I guess, between the fighters. It's just so... And like the whole thing with Creator Clash is so fucking dumb, in my personal opinion. Like the last couple of weeks, and I've been following it slowly from Diorio's side, but basically... people, some of the fighters were like, oh, we don't know what's going on. It might be canceled. It might not be, because they had lost 2 fighters. They lost the main gig fighter, which is Harley Morenstein, and he was going to fight LA Beast. And then they lost AB's wife, Lena, from the H3 podcast. And, you know, it's kind of reasonable to assume why she would leave is because, like, or not Hasan, Ian made a content cop on her boss. And so they lost 2 fighters. And recently iDubbbz and Anissa left the event because they're like, well, we want to be able to shit on the people we don't like, but we don't want to damage the event. My personal opinion, that's the damage has already been done. And
the damage
so,
is done, and then it got worse because they passed it to the new event organizers. The new event organizers immediately threw them under the bus, but the new event organizers are also doing improper things. For instance, the new event organizers have now postponed the event. The problem is they're still selling tickets, and they have not updated the site to say that the event is postponed.
Yes, and also the event is no longer being held in Tampa, Florida. It's being held in California.
Yeah.
In October.
So the event is a different day, in a different location, and they're not telling people, and they're still selling tickets. They have also disabled refunds.
Actually, I did hear that anybody that bought a ticket in Florida is gonna get a refund. I'll have to look into that, but I did hear that the refunds are going to happen for people that went in Florida.
They had refunds at the start, and then they disabled refunds after, and claimed that the time period for refunds had passed, except in Florida, you were required to give 30 days, and they only gave like a week.
Yeah, I'll look into it, but yeah, I've heard a couple of different things. But yeah, so it's not looking good, in my personal opinion, for all of that. They are being weird. And do you want to know one of the few people that's running the event now? It's Aaron Hansen. Aaron Hansen is co-running the event now.
He seems like somebody that wouldn't have the morals necessary to feel bad about doing that.
No, I agree with you. So it'll be interesting to see what,
To clarify for Florida refunds, by the way, guys, apparently in Florida, if you are hosting a fighting event and someone that is considered main card is removed from the event, you are required to offer refunds to everyone up until 30 days before the event is scheduled to start.
Yes, pretty much. Aaron is irrelevant. I agree. Game Grumps stopped being relevant like 2 or 3 years ago. But like, here's the other thing that's really crazy. They recently lost 2 more fighters, bringing it to a total of 4. They lost LA Beast, who was going to fight Harley Mornstein, and then they lost Freddie Wong, who was fighting somebody else. So they lost half of the fighters in their lineup.
Well,
So
because a lot of the fighters probably want nothing to do with it anymore. Not just for like controversy reasons, but once people start dropping out, they have to consider like what happened with Chris Raygun in Creator Clash 2, where they got rid of somebody that was in his weight class and then put him up against somebody that comparatively to him was basically Mike Tyson. And he just immediately got his ass beat.
He lost hard. It was really sad. Like, they put him out to die. And I mean, to be honest with you, like, you know, I know that Ian knew that Anissa like went after Chris Raygun, so maybe that was revenge or something like that.
This is possible. I don't know, because Chris Raygun kind of became a little bit of a cuck when he started dating Lacey Green.
That's true. That's true. That's true.
He's even deleted
these
some
are
of
all
his stuff.
names. I don't know who these people are.
That's fair. There are a lot of random YouTubers that are obscure enough, but also kind of out there.
They're from yesteryear, Lumi.
Pretty much.
The before time.
They're washed up, and the only reason why we know their names is because they try to keep their relevancy by doing cringy things like Creator Clash.
I see.
Yeah.
I do find it.
Reagan deleted his Nazi parody song.
Oh yes, he did have a Nazi. His song is Punch a Nazi. It's based off of Paparazzi. It's a good song. I like it. I like it, and I know Leaflet likes it because we briefly talked about how good it is.
Chris got mildly famous for making fun of lefty lunatics, then he got woke and became a cuck. Yeah, it's because he started dating Lacey Green, and every time I think about both Ian and Chris Raygun, all I can think of is that meme where it says, people always say what zero pussy does to an MF, but I've seen what pussy does to an MF, and it's so much worse.
Yeah. Some boys just need to stay in cells.
Well, because they, like, get in a relationship with a woman, and suddenly they, like, oh, and I have to tone down, like, my entire identity. And it's like, if your woman was, like, actually liked you for you, she wouldn't, like, force you to change. Like, I don't understand people that get with these partners that just want to force them to change.
Yeah. Well, I mean, as we kind of learned from Ethan recently about iDubbbz is that...
iDubbbz was a virgin.
iDubbbz was a virgin and never had pussy until he got with Anissa.
Look, and I would say that's a mean thing to release. However, that was overlaid on a video of Ian saying, I think it's funny your family got sent skulls and had CPS called on them. It's like,
yeah,
you're kind of asking for it, bro. Like, I can't feel bad for you.
No, I don't feel bad for... Listen, at this point, it is very mutual combat between Ethan and Ian, and it's just like, I don't feel like you... Like, obviously, the people I feel the worst for is Ethan's family. Most specifically, his kids.
Yeah.
Because his wife is kind of like a mutual combatant in this as well. So, like, both of them are fighting against Ian and Anissa, and it's just like, I don't feel bad for them because they continue to choose this fight.
iDubbbz called Ethan an incel? He has a wife and children.
Yes, he did. No, actually, if I remember correctly, he said that he's trying to get the incel audience, and I'm just sitting here like, what the fuck do you mean, Ian? You literally were an incel with the incel audience.
Joe Rogan follows Chris Raygun on Twitter. Joe Rogan follows, I think, anybody that's ever been on his show.
Wait, was Chris Raygun on his show?
I think he was at one point. Joe Rogan has had like 500-something people on his show. Not all of them famous.
I wouldn't mind going on Joe Rogan, honestly. That'd be cool.
He'd want you to smoke DMT.
I don't know how I'd be able to do that as a VTuber, but, you know, we could pretend.
Incel gets used correctly as grifter. Joe Rogan follows anyone that has pot.
I should follow away with that. Oh, that's great.
Chat, you think if I just tweet out that I've got some extra pot, Joe Rogan will follow me?
Maybe.
I
It's
can't
like,
do that in
would
my
you like
state,
to-
though. I'm gonna get arrested.
Would you like to come on for an interview?
Joe Rogan is an everyman. He will talk to anyone if they ask him. He does seem like a very much an everyman.
Oh, maybe I should ask him. Like, would you like to interview a VTuber?
He might. Who knows?
I don't know if anybody's ever asked that, but I definitely would do it.
I do have to say though, like on the Ethan iDubbbz thing, is as somebody who is a certified Ethan hater, he has definitely taken the W on this one, and everyone against him is somehow worse than he is.
Yeah, that's the sad thing. Is it's just like, and again, I will go back to saying that I think that the amount of Ethan coverage we're seeing is, at this point, it's getting kind of astroturfed. Because like in the beginning when Ethan was going against Hasan, it's just like you could root for Ethan because just like, yeah, I don't want his family to be fucked with. And I think the fact that they're fucking with his family is really disgusting. And I think these people are morally reprehensible. But after the debate, it's just like, okay, how much more Ethan coverage do I need to see? Like, it gets really fucking annoying seeing the fact that Nick covers him almost every single day. It's just like, are we creating content now just so that there's something more fun to do? Or is there actually real shit to talk about? I don't know. Give him the idea and he'll interview Fruit. If he interviewed Fruit, he would be at a massive disadvantage, in my personal opinion.
I think Fruit is still MIA too.
Is she really?
Yeah, she kind of disappeared.
Oh, I feel so bad for her and all of her fans that harassed, not really harassed, but was trying to give me and Mizu and Lumi so much shit for Aunt Hime's comments. Oh my gosh, I don't care.
No, I didn't. I never cared.
I just thought it was funny that like there was this one guy that would constantly try and DM me until I blocked him because it's just like, I'm annoyed with you. He's just like, I can't believe that you would keep parroting what Aunt says, and I'm just like, I'm not parroting. She's my friend. What the fuck? Everyone makes mistakes. Yes. Oh goodness. For legal reasons, that's a joke. Yes.
For legal reasons, I'm serious. In Minecraft.
In Minecraft, yes. You know, Mizu, it is very wild seeing that you have feet now. Congratulations.
They were
for
very
having feet.
important.
Oh yeah, they are very important. Now you can get out of the water.
I don't want to. I like the water.
Fair enough.
You even joined TVA to White Knight Fruit? Man, that was his first mistake, trying to join TVA to see if he has any type of balance over there.
No, yeah, that's hilarious.
Is he still mad at me?
Who?
TVA people.
Oh, I'm sure that they are.
probably.
They still think you're a pedo for some reason. They'll never let that go.
Apparently.
I mean, like, I have a vague idea why, like, Proctor is so hate bonerish against you, but like, it's
I think it's because he's European.
no, it's because he thinks that Mizu is secretly Dev's boyfriend.
That is still so fucking funny.
It is.
Mizu is like one of the most vocal Dev haters that I know.
Pretty much.
I literally went on Archcast and yelled at him immediately.
Exactly. Thought it was the POCD thing. Oh, I think that's definitely part of it.
The POCD thing, me and Mizu are right on, just everyone else doesn't know what the fuck they're talking about when it comes to POCD.
Speaking of which, I figured out why everybody was so gung-ho on the POCD thing. Do you guys know who Food Shops is?
I saw them after you mentioned them.
Okay, Lumi, do you know or have heard of Food Shops?
I seen people talking about her, and from what I seen, she even gets the whole POCD thing wrong. She just...
Yes, she does. Okay, so like, because I went down a rabbit hole, and the reason why is because during the whole Cameron thing, she was a side quest because she had interviewed him, and he figured out she was a lolicon, and like, when I had given a second interview to him, he had like done a backstab on her, and she had like pulled him on camera to basically be like, "What the fuck? Why would you do this to me? You knew what I all that kind of crazy shit." But anyway, I was like, okay, who is this woman? Because I knew that Rev had called her out, and I knew that Kirsch had called her out. And I fell down a rabbit hole where I learned that Food Shops on a debate with somebody, admitted that she was diagnosed with POCD by a therapist, allegedly, but her therapist told her that she needed to use lolicon as a form of exposure therapy. And I need to ask, Mizu, because you are a little bit more learned in therapy, is that actually, like...
That would not be how
count?
exposure therapy works. Also,
I was going to
wouldn't...
say...
In a POCD situation, you would not use exposure therapy.
Well, it was my
Well, I mean, you
understanding
could,
that, like...
but...
Well, it was my understanding that exposure therapy was taking out catalogs with pictures of kids to ask you what you thought of them.
No, you can do a lot of different things with exposure therapy specifically, but it's not typically just, hey, we're just gonna throw all this random like pornographic imagery at you and have fun with it. It's done in a controlled environment.
Yeah, no, that's what I mean. Like, you're not actually going to bring a child into the room with that individual. That's a dumb idea. No, but it's just like, they are very famously on a debate called saying that their therapist said that they need to use lolicon as a form of exposure therapy. And I'm like, I don't think that's how that works. They also have some like one guidelines where they talk about how they need to have their arms wrapped around a small person, and then when they're like, oh, like somebody to be the big spoon, and they're like, oh no, a 12-year-old, and I'm like, I know people make edgy jokes like that sometimes, but in the context of the individual, that's a bad thing to say. So yeah, like I think unfortunately, Food Shops is one of the individuals that like sets back conversations about that kind of about POCD by like a bajillion years, and it's just yeah.
Is the way life goes.
It's like okay, we have to say this again because we always have to say this every single time somebody brings it up. POCD is a very real thing. It is a fear that people have. It's like intrusive thoughts, not the quirky intrusive thoughts. The type of intrusive thoughts that you would need to be put into a mental ward for.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's
a real thing. It's not another one of these things where actual creeps are like, oh, it's like maps and shit like that. No, it's not that. Mm-hmm. It's an actual disorder. Me and Mizu went over this on another stream a while ago. You could go find that over on Mizu's channel.
It was a fun stream.
Well,
it was a very fun stream.
Here's the thing that bothers me is like Anna Valens also like had a tweet where they're like, oh, I have POCD as well. And what bothers me is a lot of people on the internet are like, oh, we hate these people. Anna Valens sucks. Food Shop sucks. We think they're gross, dirty liars. But then they'll be like, oh, but we believe them when they say they have POCD. And it's just like, isn't it? Can't we agree that maybe they don't know what they're talking about, and maybe there's some gross underlying things, and they're using a medical condition that they have no idea what they're talking about? But like, no, because it like there's a narrative that you need to fit. There's like, oh, this person says they have it. They're not lying about that one.
No, that's a common issue with a lot of people is they'll try and pull like we have to believe them when they say it. It's like, why though?
Like,
people lie all the time.
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand why we have to just assume everyone's always telling the truth.
No, I agree. It's just like, I obviously think that Anna is a very dumb, deranged individual, and I think that they tried to self-diagnose themselves with that condition. And I think that maybe to a lesser extent with Food Shops that they probably tried to self-diagnose themselves as well. But like, it's like, we think that these people are horrible liars and they're also mentally retarded, but oh, we think that they're right when they say this. And it's just like, you can't have it both ways. And I think you're just disingenuous for saying it like that.
Never trust anyone that says they have it. They can keep it to themselves.
Well, you shouldn't really go out and tell the world that you have that disorder. That is something you should probably keep to yourself. It's just like, I'm not going to go out and tell, like, I mean, like, autism is a silly thing, but autism is like also a harmless thing. That I probably wouldn't go out and tell somebody if I had it. That's probably like something that you should deal with like professionals.
Well, it's just not something you're introducing yourself with. Like, hi, I'm Occo. I'm autistic. Like,
exactly. Well, I mean, technically, depending on the situation, if I think it would be a funny joke, I would do it. But no, typically, if I want to tell somebody I'm autistic, I do it the way I approach it at work. Like, it's second or third conversation where I tell my boss, hey, by the way, I'm autistic. And my boss will be like, oh, that's cool. It's not something for the public. I agree. That's my icebreaker. There you go. Anna tells everything to the world. She does, or they do. And I don't really like, again, like, I don't really like that. I legitimately look at some of these people and it's just like, I can very clearly see that they've got some real big issues going on with them. And people are kind of selective with what they put stock into, in my personal opinion. I don't know. Ooh, I think I approached the scene where there's that song that everybody gets mad at, Lumi.
The
What?
gospel music.
Yeah, they're building a train right now.
What are we talking about?
Oh, and 14.
Oh, Final Fantasy 14.
You're both cringe.
Who the fuck starts a conversation like that? No, I know, right?
Oh.
And autism is much as an explanation as an excuse. Very true.
Are we coming up on Pride Month?
We are.
Yes,
That's in
we
2
are.
days. That's in 2 days, I think. 1 to 2 days.
I
2
opened
days.
up Steam and the first thing I saw was Warframe Pride Month, and I was like, what?
Yeah, I haven't signed in yet, but I know that they've got some. I don't know if they've got new glyphs, but they definitely are going to recycle. You know what's funny is the shaders for Pride Month are actually like really good for some solid colors. It's really funny. I thought Pride Month was banned. Okay, so I was going to ask about that. Did Trump ban Pride Month? Some people told
There's
me he
no
did.
banning Pride Month. It's just saying that. Well, I don't know what he said, but I doubt you can ban a community-made month.
Yeah.
I don't think it's just going to be recognized by the United States government, like how they would post on the White House Twitter page and shit like that.
No, yeah, for sure. I do think that a lot of companies are pulling back from their support of it because it's that turn of the tide. I do think that some company, like, you know, you got Warframe, you got Destiny that is like gonna support it, but I feel like it's not gonna happen that much this year. I think. I don't know. Make it Veterans Month. I'd be fine with that. Although, don't veterans have a day?
Why
Like,
the
okay.
fuck would you name your organization that? You're not helping your case.
Wait, what? What's
Aw.
going on?
An organization fighting against LGBT flag bans is being led by a think tank called the Movement Advancement Project, otherwise known as MAP.
Oh no.
Well, I mean, he doesn't. I can't find the bill itself, but I do find the top here. Some bills only apply to government property, and some only apply to school settings. So I don't think that's a problem. Like, maybe people could disagree with me on this, but realistically, your government buildings should only be hoisting, like, your state flags.
I agree.
Yeah.
I feel like hoisting other flags can be seen as like
It's an endorsement.
issue.
And I agree with all flags. Like, I don't want to see the fucking Baptist Convention flag flying over the state either. Like, I want state flag, United States flag, and depending on location, the McDonald's flag.
Mhm.
Because McDonald's is a point of pride for our country.
McDonald's, yes.
Maps like the one in cartography, or are we talking about the other maps? The thing is, it is an LGBT organization that their acronym is MAP, which is something you really should consider.
No.
You know, I miss when, like, you know, you would see the word map on social media. It just meant multi-animator project.
Yeah.
I miss when it was just that.
I don't know, I don't see anything about a Trump ban. I see a bunch of people worried that there will be a Trump ban. And this article was posted like 6 days ago.
Why would they?
Oh,
do
sorry, no, this
that?
article was posted 6 hours ago.
Oh. No.
I don't... see anything like in particular in here that's like super damning. It's like, oh, they banned pride flags from government facilities. Like, okay.
That's fine with me.
It's like when people talk about the book bans and they're like, they're banning books they consider pornographic from schools. It's like, okay. That's not like a book ban. That's just saying you can't have it in the school library. I don't really see a problem with that.
Well, it's just like there are laws against showing lewd and lascivious materials to children. Like, it's illegal.
Yeah.
So I don't know why that's such an issue, in my personal opinion. Like, the materials that because I looked at some of those videos just to see if it was hyperbolic or whatever. And yeah, some of the materials that I saw were definitely like, you should not have these in a school. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's just one of those things, like, I don't see why everyone cares so much. And then somebody I was following had like this really long ranty post, and they're like, well, you realize with these bans it would ban like most anime and manga from school. I'm like, good, a lot of it actually doesn't belong in school.
No, I agree.
Because
Yeah.
the problem
I
is
agree.
schools see anime and manga and they immediately go, oh, it's animated, it's for kids. And I've seen multiple schools hosting like genuine adult only manga before, because all they saw was the front cover and that it was a drawing, and they're like, oh, it must be fine for kids.
Oh yeah, like
My school had
the
Bible
school-
Black in the library, just so we're
Oh,
clear.
Gosh.
my school had High School of the Dead.
Yeah, it's like stuff that's clearly inappropriate for kids, but all they saw was animated, and they're like, it's fine.
Yeah. No, yeah, I think that schools probably shouldn't have anime in their period. I'm even.
I mean, I'm
kinda
fine
iffy
with
on
anime in there.
Maybe I'm kind of iffy on it even in libraries. Although libraries do kind of a better job of saying don't pick this up if you're not like a kid. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So-
Depends on who's running it. Like my library in elementary school, the librarian was very specific on what books got donated, and she would actually like look up stuff before she put them on the shelves. But in high school, they just did not give a shit. If somebody brought in books, they were going on the shelf. Libraries have an adult section. We're not talking about a public library. We're talking about specifically the school library that is
Yeah.
exclusively for the students. That's when it kind of becomes a problem, because you're dealing with people that at absolute max are 18, 19, and at minimum are like 5.
Also, I will be right back.
Peace.
General principle is everyone should have equal access. If your weird Mormon mom doesn't want their child to read Harry Potter, that's on them. That
Mormons
is where
don't
I
like Harry
agree.
Potter?
No, that's where I agree. But the thing is, you have to still put limits on it. Like, you can't just be like, oh, well, everyone needs equal access to all books, so let's just have porn in the school library.
The school library is different though, because it's
It's an
school
institution
is-
of learning.
Yes. Plus, it's made for people that are not of consenting age or age of majority, as Lumi likes, or not even. Fuck, as many females, as Ava likes to say.
Okay, with shonen and shoujo mangas. You know, like, I'm fine with a lot of different manga in libraries, but they need to actually understand, like, manga ratings if they're gonna do it. Like, the ultimate problem is just a lot of adults in the West see cartoon and they go, cartoon equals for children. And when we have, like, adult cartoons like South Park and Family Guy, that doesn't make them say, okay, you can have cartoons that aren't for children. That makes them say, okay, these 2 specific cartoons are exceptions to the rule. Isn't there a lock section for that material? No. I don't know what your school library did. My school library was just an open room, and you could take whatever the fuck. I mean, you had to scan it out before you left, but you could just take it.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't been to my public library. Surprised I never got banned.
Your library?
Yeah.
Why? What'd you do?
Reasons.
Stuff and things.
Yeah, stuff and things.
Okay. I wonder if Trump will do something about payment processors. I feel like maybe I feel like something like that is probably going to happen. It's a slow process, but I do feel like maybe.
I don't think he will. I wish he would, but I don't think he will.
I do think that they're having beginning questions and shit about that. I know that Josh from the farms is trying to he started a 501 and he's trying to get conversations about it started.
Super chat for 2 from Will Spain. Vampire Knight probably wasn't good for teen girls.
Probably not.
Stuff and things can be quite entertaining. My school library was a room with a library and a computer. We had multiple computers because some kids in my area were poor and we had to do our book reports at school. That's just how poor people roll. I don't know. Look, man, here's kind of where I have it at. It's a school library. I really don't care if stuff gets banned from it.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, you can leave the library and go to the actual public library or go to Amazon or go to the internet. Like, you don't have to have free access from the school library.
Yeah.
You could just go other places. It's when they start talking about banning it in general that we can have a discussion, I think.
No, I agree.
Because, people don't talk about, other, quote-unquote, freedom violations that happen in school. Are we not gonna... If we're gonna talk about, freedom violations, you realize you have a room full of children that are actively forced to stay there for, 8 or 9 hours a day, and they're not allowed to leave. They're forced to do work while they're there. Forced labor. They can't contact their parents. Often their phones are taken away. Are we really going to pretend like schools are going to be our last bastions of freedom?
No, absolutely not. That's why I encourage homeschooling.
Freedom libraries sounds bad.
Freedom library. Yes.
It sounds like something out of Helldivers.
Speaking of which, did you hear that Helldivers is
they're getting review bombed?
I saw they're getting review bombed again. I don't know why they're getting review bombed, but it's happening again.
So I saw a original somebody on Reddit detailed it a bit better than other people were, but it's from the Chinese player base. And
okay.
for some reason, the Chinese player base had the community manager was doing some outreach with them and actually got the Chinese player base to boom and start playing the game a lot more.
Yeah.
So when they found out that there was a Chinese region on Super Earth in the latest event, they started defending it really heavily. And they started doing online campaigns to get it up to 100% because they thought it would be really cool to max it out and liberate it before everybody else could do their specific regions. So they did, but then they got up to, I forget the exact number, but it was something 97.683%, and they realized it would not go past that. That
really?
Once you hit that amount, you were forever forced to just maintain that. You couldn't go to 100%.
Oh, so they were keeping it from happening.
Well, no, the point is, it's the entire event is supposed to be a holdout thing. You're supposed to keep fighting over and over again until eventually the Illuminate forces are depleted. But because they're Chinese, they don't speak English, it was translated to them in that they could liberate it. So when they so they get this huge influx of new players that are not used to the game, that don't necessarily speak the language as well, and then they realize they can't actually complete the goal they all got into the game for. And whether they are right,
Shanghai.
whether they are right or not for it, to them it felt like because of the translation error that they basically were getting screwed over from a victory that they felt they earned.
Mm-hmm. That is kind of funny though.
Yes. On to a degree, I kind of agree with them. Because there's no way to affect the illuminate forces except for like a timer. And the reality is people aren't ever going to be happy with like timer-based things, basically.
Yeah.
Like there's just always going to be more illuminate until they decide that like, okay, now they're depleted.
Right.
Just
Doesn't
sounds
look
like they
she's
don't
gonna commit
understand the
crimes.
game. No, Helldivers has gotten busted several times for just cheating, and not letting people win or forcing people to take a W when they intentionally tried to lose.
Right.
Because sometimes they just don't want to plan for the different outcomes.
Yeah, no, like they already know where they want to take the game, and they're not really happy when people go the exact opposite. Because their plans, I mean, like the thing is, occasionally they do like plan for that, but oftentimes they really don't.
Mm-hmm. Well, like there's the famous one where the automatons were headed towards Super Earth, and they really pissed off the player base. So everyone intentionally carved a path for the automatons to go straight to Super Earth.
Yeah.
And when they finally got like 2 nodes from Super Earth, with nobody fighting them, nobody holding them off at all, like literally 0 people, the devs just came out and says, hey, they just decided to retreat for no reason. Good job on repelling them.
What happened?
I remember we're talking about how
Helldivers is getting
kinda
review bombed again.
Yep.
Oh yeah, by the Chinese.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Also, Lemmy, I made it to the next dungeon.
Oh, very good. Do you want me to join you?
Oh, I'm already in it. I decided to just do it with NPCs.
Shot themselves in the foot with their community model. They kind of did.
Unless you want to jump in as a healer.
Because
I can do it with NPCs.
All right, I'll jump out.
they have to play through scenarios that might not necessarily be the correct one. I think the best example I saw was somebody on Twitter said it's like playing Dungeons and Dragons with a railroad DM.
Yeah. Okay.
Need to develop assets. It wasn't smart to make it seem like the community has 100% choice. I don't
It's like a
know.
Telltale game.
I feel like even with like a W or a loss, you could build the narrative in a way to where you can roll with either one of them.
Mm-hmm. Lumi, are you playing the class you would like to be in?
Let me.
Video games are just tabletop game with a railroad DM.
Yeah.
Chat, you see what I have to put up with? Both of my co-hosts are running off to play Final Fantasy.
I'm still here to talk.
I can't even play Final Fantasy right now, chat.
Oh, sure you can.
I have to manage
just
stuff.
No, you can pull it up.
Also, we have 169 people watching right now. Nice.
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 Indeed.
Well, oh my god, why is HoloLive trending? What happened?
Oh dear, is somebody else graduating?
Well, the first thing that pops up is Kiara's tits.
And ass.
And then somebody cosplaying Susie.
It looks just like a bunch of fan art. Alright, you ready, Lumi?
Hold on, what level is this dungeon again?
It is 97.
Okay. Okay, yeah.
Okay.
Why are all these like low?
Mizu being abused? Yes, Mizu always gets abused. And we're very sad to see it. People are very mean to Mizu sometimes. He's a little rough around the edges, but he's mostly harmless.
I'm apparently very rough around the edges.
Oh yeah?
Probably Pecora officially being in Death Stranding too. That's actually fair. Yeah, I forgot
You know
about
what?
that.
That's right. Well, you know why that's happening, right?
Because Kojima
Because
loves
Kojima
Pecora.
really likes her.
Yeah, but Kojima's like a big simp for her. Okay.
Or the indies on the title. So the indies was gonna be somebody called Gray, which Lumi sent to me last night,
Oh, so Lumi knows this.
and somebody called
Hardly.
Mim.
Apparently, a VTuber group blacklisted this dude for being an absolute fucking psychopath.
Okay.
Trying to say that someone was racist and was disrespecting indigenous people.
Okay, here I want to read it, Lumi, because people cannot get the full effect if they don't hear the words.
Okay.
Oh boy,
okay.
I'm excited. I'm so excited.
It's so stupid.
So they're calling out someone called Baze Mim. I'm just gonna call them Mim because that's their name. And they said, so Mim would rather be racist and block me instead of fixing things. I see how it is. They've reenacted the same colonial violence settlers done unto the indigenous populations towards me. They refuse to take accountability and would rather run when faced with this. They've lacked care towards me and encouraged their manager, Nadine of RIP VT, to perpetuate the same violence towards me, alongside Mort. They're all the same and lack care towards indigenous trauma and indigenous peoples, such as I. Mim is privileged and hides behind things in order to get away with abuse. They've neglected me and ignored the harm they've done towards me to try and make it seem like it wasn't so bad, to literally put me through more racist trauma. I was kicked from servers, and a group chat was deleted before I could get screenshots of anything, as a means to silence me. I am left with zero proof of interactions, and this was intentionally done to keep me silent. I am sickened and upset. It was always about them and their issues when I was facing racism from Mim. I never mattered, and the way they kicked me further and blocked me out further shows how Mim does not care about their racist remarks, nor did they reflect on any of it. They tried saying it was up to me to tell them about my trauma and my family's generations of trauma, when I wasn't about to re-expose myself to that. They insinuated it was up to me to tell them how to apologize to me when I was the victim of their racist abuse. How dare I struggle coping with their abuse and neglect when I work full-time. Meanwhile, they have the free privilege to stay home and stream when I'm swarmed in debt. Like, sure, you're not privileged when I don't get any fucking days off and I struggle daily.
What did they say?
Okay, I don't know, man.
It keeps going. It keeps going for another 8 posts.
I don't see any more posts out of that unless he made another one.
Did you read every single post that I sent you?
I'm on his actual page right now.
Oh, his actual page?
It's just a big thread.
Oh, he made it into one huge thread instead of just the individual posts?
I mean, it looks like a thread, yeah.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Because each of those posts that I sent you were individual posts.
I guess.
Maybe there's multiple threads.
Yeah, there's multiple threads. I made sure that they were all separate before I sent them to you, Mizu.
Oh no. This is like a Google Doc, but without the Google part.
Oh no, this is just more stuff. Oh my god, there's so many oh. This is fucking great. Here, we're gonna continue chat. Mim replied, you threatened me for weeks, saying you were going to drop a doc about the situation with screenshots, and yes, that is blackmailing. Then say you don't have them in your post. I kept you in my servers up until this point, despite not trusting you. And then this person makes a new thread off that post. I not once mentioned a doc. Go back and show me where I said that. Stop cherry picking. I don't have the time nor energy to type up a doc at 3 a.m., unlike you, who has the privilege and energy to do so. Again, at 3 a.m. I have better things to do, unlike you, Mem. I glossed over everything and realized I was accused of threatening to dox, when again, point out where I said that. Stop trying to lie about me without proof, because I never mentioned anything like that at all. Stop trying to justify being racist. You are an anti-indigenous racist. That's blackmailing. I mentioned my need to post something, parentheses, vague. When you asked why I wasn't cutting you off, and I told you twice that I was hesitant and giving you the benefit of the doubt, which was clearly wrong since you're stuck in your racist ways. I talked to another specialist today, and she agreed with me that this is all stupid and you owe me an apology. I'm sorry, give me a sec. I'm sorry, I can't say that with a fucking straight face.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny.
It gets better.
I'm sorry, like that took me out.
Ow.
Here, from the top. I talked to another specialist today, and she agreed with me that this is all stupid and you owe me an apology. I gave the evidence. They read it and agreed with me that you owe me. Refund all those subs I gave you if you want to act difficult, since you don't need to work. This situation was never about you, and you always inserted yourself into the situation. So tell me how I'm a narcissist when you make everything about yourself, including indigenous issues, when you're a /colonizer. This was never about you, you selfish racist. I can't with the fucking specialist thing.
I what the fuck are we listening? Like, what did they do? I legitimately don't know what they did.
Well, we'll get to the part that this is just the warm up. This is the little teaser.
This is the little teaser.
Well, there's only, like, as far as I have on here, like 7 more tweets.
Yeah.
Oh. Gosh damn it, Lummy, I followed you.
Well, you should just learn not to follow the tank. You don't follow the healer.
I'm tired. I'm tired of people lying about me so freely and lacking evidence, and people listening to them foolishly. I don't want Mim, Nadine, nor Mortimer to hurt another BIPOC. Y'all also refuse to acknowledge the land you reside on, which is indigenous land. All of it. Don't go trying to convince indigenous people that they must give remorse and sympathy to those mourning literal colonizers who raped and beat women and children. Do you know how insane that sounds? How y'all dismiss the trauma of thousands of living and deceased people? That's what being tone deaf and ignorant is. Y'all dogpiled me, expected me to bow down and apologize, when I was justifiably upset over a topic that's ingrained into my identity to be upset over. Would y'all target other indigenous people in the future like how I was? This person is nuts.
Yes, they are.
And then they make a single post by itself after that just says, grown-ass people, by the way. Grown-ass people trying to tell me about Catholicism. Parentheses, I'm Catholic against my will. And indigenous issues. Parentheses, I'm indigenous. As if I don't know a damn thing when this is my reality every living day. I experience racist violence frequently.
Hashtag just indigenous things.
I like this. I'm Catholic against my will.
How does that work?
By the way, this person says on their account that they're 28. They're not, like, at home with their parents, like, being forced to go to church. What the fuck are you talking about, Catholic against my will? Even if you were a kid, the most your parents could do is force you to go to church. Like, they can't force you to believe in it. I'm Catholic against my will.
That almost makes it sound like they're my nemesis that's living at home with their parents and forced to do the chores.
It's a leaf cuck, isn't it? They don't say. At least I'm pretty sure they don't say anywhere on their profile. I could be wrong.
Oh, that is beautiful. They have all the memes on their profile too about like billionaires and shit. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
These kinds of people are all, oh, they're into gore. Maybe Lumi will enjoy following. Wait, Lumi's the one that gave this to you.
Yeah.
Lumi,
What?
this person has gore on their profile. You got something to say?
I wouldn't really call that gore. At least not the kind of
No?
gore Lumi's into.
Oh, fair enough.
It's more like just
Oh,
toxic
gross.
yaoi.
Yeah, I seen what they had. It kind of boring.
Kind of boring.
Kind of boring.
Sunk cost, but for religion. It's just like, I don't want to be saved. I'm forced to be saved, and I don't got anything to say about it. Oh gosh, they're hella expensive for what they draw. Like, hun, I'm sorry, but that's way too much.
Yeah. $80 for full body flats.
That's way too
Is it
expensive.
all
I'd rather
flats?
just-
Do you not do shade? You have to pay an extra $10 for shading.
Are you serious?
Why is shading an add-on?
Dude, oh
That's
my
weird.
gosh. This person sounds like they didn't consent to being born. It does kind of sound like that, doesn't it?
But then we have two more from them. That's all I will add again. I don't have the time to make some stupid document. The audacity of some of you. I'm sorry to my friends, mutuals, and followers who have to see all of this. I never wanted to go public, but needed to in defense of my people and for other safety. Beware
Oh,
that
goodness.
mem suicide baits, threatens self-harm, manipulates, gaslights, lies, is ableist, and racist towards people for personal gain. Open a damn book to learn, and open your damn ears for marginalized communities. Also, Beardmaster super chat for 5 CAD. If they want their land back so bad, they should concrete it back. Wait, they can't, won't do it. They're just briefing about it and building casinos. Yeah, no, this is a crazy person. Like an absolute nutter butter. I'm pretty sure they don't really have anything else in here other than just like tons of random art shit. Oh, here's some. Alright, chat, these were a bit earlier than the other ones. I'm done. Stop using scapegoats to be racist towards indigenous people. My friends, strangers, colleagues, and my literal therapist all agree with me. People biased towards some privileged asshole, parentheses mem, can all go suck it. Y'all racist. Bye-bye. Y'all do not know me. Truly. And then another couple. Doubling down makes them all look worse. They're actively okay with being racist and trying to use something I'm not even diagnosed with, parentheses, merely suspected, against me in something that doesn't pertain to narcissistic personality disorder at all. I'm traumatized and allowed to be mad about history.
Wait, they're traumatized because of history? I'm confused right now.
Yes.
Yeah, because generational trauma, blah 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 blah.
You know, I briefly like was talking to, because like one of the individuals I talked to when I was talking to Cameron was one of the people that he dislikes, which was FPS Diesel, and like I briefly like talked to some of Diesel's mods about like, because they were like, so you're in the VTuber like sphere, and I was like, yeah. They're like, I'm assuming that you kind of like see some of this stuff. A lot. I was like, yeah, VTubers are really bad with this kind of trauma. They like think that everything is about them.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a cool looking thing.
Also, Mem siding with Ye is insane, considering that Ye is an anti-black racist and massively ableist. Ye offended me and ghosted me when I was actively doing my part with my bipolar disorder. Actually, it says BPD. I'm assuming it's bipolar disorder, but somebody got mad at me last time I said that and said that BPD could be a couple different things. By waiting to interact later. They ghosted me over me being normal. Okay, Yay. Yeah, it's Y-A-E. Yay. I don't know how else I'm supposed to pronounce that.
Oh, that is really interesting, man. This person is like a continuous source of like, how many more tweets do they have?
I don't know.
It's probably all lost between their retweets and shit.
All my friends with NPD, get behind me. I want to protect you all from people who want to try and antagonize you for a diagnosis that comes from repeated trauma and neglect, especially those with a dual diagnosis of BPD and NPD. People are quick to listen to the stigmas against NPD and ASPD, which, by the way, are often caused by childhood trauma. It never gets easier. It's so socially accepted to insult people with those diagnoses. It's sad. I think they're mad that somebody called them a narcissist, and now they're saying I have narcissistic personality disorder. So that's an insult.
No, that's not an insult. That's just the truth. That okay.
There's so many more of these. What the fuck? Don't weaponize people's NPD. That isn't some point to even mention in an argument about your racism. My diagnoses have nothing to do with something you've done, Mem. Get help. You clearly need it for your unmanaged BPD. You can't insult people for their, like, mental issues and then go, you clearly need help for your unmanaged mental issues.
Oh, that is so beautiful, man.
In the same tweet. These aren't separate tweets. It's literally the same one.
Oh, was I not supposed to move? It says motion sensitive. What the fuck?
Mem tried mentioning mental health and using NPD as a negative about me when they suicide baited their closer friend group in their personal server. When I asked them in a group chat if their friends get mental help or medication to know the effects or risks, and Mem said no. When I cross-reference by doing some back reading in their server to see their point, their friends who hated Mem's so-called abuse and suicide baiting do, in fact, get mental help and take medication, and do know the effects and risks of prescription drugs and overdosing. I have no idea what they're talking about here.
Mm-hmm.
This is in the same tweet as the other stuff. Like, I don't even know how we got here.
This is like one of the weirdest crash outs I've ever heard. This is like the classic shit from our old podcast days that we would read. This is beautiful. Thank you, Lumi, for finding that. Everybody say thank you to Lumi for finding this.
I just opened up Twitter the other day. It's like, I haven't really looked at Twitter. Let me take a look. And then this is the first thing that I see on my page. And what the fuck is this?
I don't have screenshots because I was kicked from that server when things escalated. Group chats were deleted on me, and I was kicked from spaces very quickly because they know how to silence the people they're attacking, since it wasn't the first time they isolated me. They are so willing to talk about my NPD when they're guilty of suicide baiting their other friends and ex-partner in private, then go on about, woe is me. Then they actively hurt those people, other people. They always excuse themselves on account of their BPD. But sure, it's somehow my fault for being upset that you, parentheses Mem, was racist towards me, and how dare I react badly to being spat at in a group setting and being dogpiled for speaking up on my boundaries and using history and facts to back up my side.
Can I just say, I really love how they're like, you parentheses myths. it's like we don't know who they're talking about.
They do this a lot in a lot of their posts. They'll do like parentheses this person. I was like, oh, fucking okay. I'm indigenous. Trauma is ingrained into my identity. Trauma never ended for generations, past, current, and future. We will never stop fighting for our rights because governments always try to rip those rights away, and we are always being killed. We experience a silent genocide.
Dude, it's just like you can be a victim forever because you like. Okay, does that mean that I can be a victim forever? Because I used to be Mormon. Did you guys know that there was like an extermination order on Mormons until literally the early 1900s? So I could be a victim forever too. Also, I am pretty sure I got some Irish in there, and there's Irish slaves. And I don't know, like, if that's really the road this person wants to go down, everybody can be a perpetual victim against each other. I'm pretty sure the person they're complaining against could have some family history. Maybe they've got some black in them. I don't know.
There's so many of these, chat. Not this one, but I think you guys are going to love the next one. But this one, their screenshots of the discussion isn't looking so hot. Since I had people review their document on me, and those people still agree with me that Mim was racist regardless of the discussion I showed them. My responses were justified in the face of oppression and racism. Trying to tone police a minority on a topic that pertains to my group / origin / background / identity is insane, considering indigenous genocide happens to this day and it never stopped. The government is not on our side. Stop playing wannabe cop.
I need to know. There's like so much shit that you're talking about right now. I need to know, like, what the, like, do we know what this individual they're railing against said?
We do.
Yes, there's a Google Doc.
Bro, I can't read this shit. There's 32 pages of this.
What the?
Look how much is in it.
Screenshots. It's all fucking screenshots. What the hell?
And it's the full thing too. It's like their full conversation. It's 32 pages. We can't read that.
I mean, hey,
Let's
thank
not read
goodness.
all of it. Let's just read some of it.
Hey, at least it's the full conversations. We always say don't like everything. We want to see everything.
Exactly. Unlike some people that don't include their full DMs and sometimes splice out DMs, I'm glad that this person did include all of the weird out of context stuff.
Yeah. Content for next week. I'll read it someday this week, probably. Honestly, on my own channel.
I mean, we can read some of them right now.
You're gonna love this set of tweets. Using
more tweets.
I'm mentally ill as an excuse for racism is not a good move. They also haven't mentioned I have disorders which make me scared all the time, and I experience symptoms. God forbid I experience symptoms of my mental illness and I react badly to racism targeted towards me. They failed to mention I was diagnosed, medicated, and receiving treatment for my professionally diagnosed BPD, so trying to flash he has NPD, another cluster B personality disorder, as a gotcha is ableist and really sad. They have no argument or defense.
Are they trying to out, like, oppression the other oppressed individual?
We haven't talked about the other individual. This has been the same guy the entire time.
Yeah, I know, but it sounds like the other individual's got some weird shit going on with them, too. So I'm just like, are they both trying to, like, have oppression Olympics right now?
No, it's just them. The other person hasn't even been replying. This is just them, like, freaking out the entire time.
Fair enough.
If they want to make it a contest, they don't understand the daily struggle of being visibly indigenous. And by the way, we do not share the same complexion. They're paler than me, and my phone camera actively whitewashes me.
My phone camera actively whitewashed.
My camera's a racist, chat.
My camera's racist.
That wasn't even the funny part.
Oh, how can it get better? What the fuck?
they failed to mention I have autism, BPD, DID, OCD, CPTSD, I'm an SA survivor, an abuse victim/survivor, and my NPD is only suspected, not confirmed. My past therapist said that I don't seem to have NPD, and I'm going to confirm again with my new and current therapist.
Okay, so what I'm hearing is that they played Pokemon with all of the disorders and got them all.
You know, as soon as they heard DID, I know this is bullshit. This person is bullshitting.
What is MP? What the fuck is MPD?
NPD should be narcissistic personality disorder.
Okay.
BPD could be borderline personality disorder or bipolar disorder. People kind of use them interchangeably. DID is dissociative identity disorder. OCD is obsessive compulsive disorder, and I'm pretty sure that's the only thing it could be. I think everybody knows what PTSD is. I have no problem admitting I actually don't know what C-PTSD is.
Holy fuck.
Complex
Who's this
post-traumatic
guy?
stress disorder.
Who am I fighting right now? Lumi, I didn't pay attention to the story. Is this guy important?
I mean, you should have paid attention to the story.
Is this like somebody
Azahara
that should
says,
have
I
been
have
mentioned earlier?
MP3, MKV, and AVI.
Chronic
I have
PTSD.
ADHD.
The thing that first pops up is complex PTSD.
I see that used for childhood PTSD.
That's also a possibility.
Holy fuck.
If we want to be
Mizu,
an
I think you
open
just killed
book,
me.
yes, sure, there's all my diagnoses down. I hate exposing myself like that, but if they want to make it a contest, they don't know what my struggle with these are like daily. They impact all areas of my life. It sucks a lot.
Excuse
Holy
me.
shit.
Ava says, I got GIF, PNG, and JPEG.
You forgot MP4 too.
And can't be overlapping with Azahara now.
Shit. Oh,
He
shit.
has MP4.
I'm going to assume I don't want to stand there.
This person is like absolutely insane.
Oh fuck. You know, and I sometimes
Yeah, they
felt
say
like
they
being
they
so-
have they
okay.
can't they don't have time to write a doc. How much like
Oh.
shit have they written?
They've written enough to make a doc.
At
Need
least
some
an essay.
STDs.
I am tired of people taking advantage of me and then throwing me
Thank
away
you.
when I'm considered useless and too vocal. I do not matter to folks, and I always have to deal with this. Mem lacks empathy to consider other people's trauma. When I explained my end time and time again, they would pretend to be the victim and go on about their experiences when they are not indigenous, nor are they even the topic of the matter. Colonist will be colonist. They always made it about themselves and their struggles,
Ugh.
and it was never centered around me. Not to Mim, not to Nadine, not to Mortimer. They're all violently racist and kicked me, an indigenous person, out for verbalizing my boundaries with facts.
There's no way this guy's dead.
There's no way this guy's real. Want to bet this person has not struggled a day in their life? Oh, probably. They're fucking from suburbia or some shit.
I don't know what that means. If Ava doesn't know what it means, that's bad. Oh, fuck. That was beautiful. I love that.
Chat, there's so much more.
There's more tweets. No.
Why is this... Oh, we have more Christian Catholic stuff.
Yes.
Don't go to me about being a liberal when you literally defended a hierarchical figure and silenced an indigenous voice just because I wasn't comfortable. I was vocal on the matter, and you hated that. The colonizer within your spirit is loud.
The colonizer in your spirit.
Colonizer in your spirit. Oh, that's beautiful.
There's a little colonizer birdhouse in your soul.
It's so funny.
You have two spirits inside you. One's a colonizer, the other one's a Nazi.
Yes. Oh shit.
I'm gonna start saying the colonizer in my spirit is loud. I'm just gonna take that one.
You have to do that whenever you see a delicious brown woman in anime.
Oh gosh. damn.
Colonizer in my spirit is loud.
How do I tell? Is it with the way that his tail's pointing?
How dare I, an indigenous person, hate on Christian/Catholic leaders for their hand in sexually assaulting my people for generations? How dare I, Mim? You do not understand the weight of your words, and your nonchalance being violence.
Oh my gosh, I hate this person.
I've consulted other indigenous people on this very matter, and every one of them agreed with me that what you've done was racist violence towards the indigenous populations. Not only mine, but you've insulted all of us. Stop hiding behind excuses. You are violently racist. I fucking love
honest,
these. These are great.
I feel like I'm like in the middle of a dream sequence right now.
They just so much. Okay, this is the last one. Then we're back at the start where they did the original call out. I've been inactive in streaming because of Mim's influence among other IDV spaces. I don't know what that means. They probably messed that up. I worried about them blackmailing me for being vocal about an indigenous specific issue. They know nothing about the struggles of violent oppression that happen daily and how it made my life hell. They tried going on about how I was blackmailing them when I was shaken and scared by their influence, as if they haven't used charisma to worm their way into being among popular streamers on purpose to harness their influence and power. Don't try to lie and twist it, Mim.
I have a great song that we need to play as an outro. Just because of this. I'll find it once I'm done in this dungeon.
I hold no influence over people. I hold no power, so it's easy to speak over me, and Mim always have. Mim always tries to make their voice louder than mine, and make me sound crazy when I experienced so much struggle in my life, and still do. They always tried mentioning shit from their own life to try and diminish my experiences and excuse their words and actions when that isn't accountability, nor an apology, nor learning from mistakes. You can only say, "We're all human," so many times from your violent and often traumatic mistakes before your victims realize that you are the violent and active racist. You accuse all of your shit all of the time. All because your issues you deemed, quote, more important than mine or anyone else's. Only you matter to you, and you brainwashed your friends into upholding that belief. Chief running mouth.
Oh, that's beautiful. Here, I'm gonna put in Shooting the Shit what I feel like we should play as an outro. It's a good song. It's a good song.
I'm gonna read Mim's like actual just tweet thread first.
Oh, Lumi, you left before I could give you a calm.
I don't think you can calm your friends.
No,
Oh,
you
you're
can't
right.
calm people in your party.
Fair enough.
I got incorrectly accused of being a racist over saying it was okay to be upset regarding the Pope's passing. This is about the Pope dying!
Yep. All this is about the Pope dying.
What the fuck?
What? So they got called names because they said the Pope died. Oh.
I'm
Yep.
so confused how I'm so glad I read through all of that first, because then we get to the point where it's like, so this was about the Pope dying.
That whole crash out just because they were sad that the Pope died.
Holy shit. That is awesome.
I got incorrectly accused of being racist over saying it was okay to be upset regarding the Pope's passing. The screenshots speak for themselves of what happened. For mobile browser, you have to view a desktop to see the screenshots property. For one, everything was entirely misunderstood and warped. It's also entirely unacceptable to weaponize anyone's identities or experiences. This also should have never gone to Twitter. This also should have never gone to Twitter months ago on your private, nor now. You made your friends uncomfortable due to the lack of concern for their feelings, and then throw it back out to play victim. I walked away because you kept DMing me, being incredibly toxic and aggressive. We were walking in circles. You threatened me for weeks, saying you were going to drop a doc about the situation with screenshots, and yes, that is blackmailing. Then you say you don't have them in your post. I kept you in my servers until this point despite not trusting you. Tony has also admitted to posting many docs in the past on people, as well as threatening doxing. Naturally, everyone was removed from the group chat due to such sensitive information being out there. And blocking someone and removing them from your spaces after all of this happened is not oppressing someone, it's cutting them off. We went in circles for months before this happened. These are also serious accusations that can be life-changing if genuine, so to toss them out so freely is dangerous. Do not make false accusations like this knowing that, especially bringing in my group on top of it. At the end of the day, you pass off and disregard how everyone feels, saying it's a racism, but no, you were hostile and straight up mean and dismissive to the people who cared about you, so we walked away. Yes, the crash out was months in the making, and it's because this person said that it was okay to be sad the Pope died. Okay, so we have multiple people, and I guess this is their group chat. So we have the mentioned Mortimer, Mim, Gray, and is it just Mortimer, Mim, and Gray? And then there's Nadine. Mortimer, Mim, Gray, Nadine. There's somebody else, but their name is scribbled out and they don't seem to appear for like 10 pages, at least. So they probably just weren't involved in this.
Yeah.
So it starts with Mortimer saying, I learned the Pope died. Someone tweeted that he died on freaking Easter, crying emoji. Mim says, woke up to hearing about that. I'm so sad. Mortimer says, I hope the next one is just as kind as he was. Then Gray chimes in, learning the Pope still viewed gayness as a sin, I lost hope. This is why I can't trust popes. Also, he wrongfully wore a native headdress when he came to Canada to each reserve to apologize on behalf of the church, and whoever let him wear a headdress, that was disrespectful, and he had to earn that right, not through half-assed apologies. They made roads on reserves really nice for him to come on with a limo. Then after all that, reserves got neglected again, just to accommodate some old white man. Then afterwards, we didn't matter again, not to society nor the government. I have beef with the Pope. Cultural beef. Anyways, good afternoon. I woke up and I'm tired.
Cultural beef.
He was Canadian?
You know-
I guess he's Canadian.
Oh,
It's
that's
like
beautiful.
The previous Pope was one of the most progressive ones out there.
Yeah, the
and
new
the
one
fact
is
that
more.
he's still angry about it.
Yeah, the new one is definitely going to be more. I think people are saying the new one's more conservative, honestly. So
He's also American.
exactly.
USA. USA. America takes over the Vatican. Eat a dick.
Hell yeah.
We deserve it. Mim replies, if I remember correctly, didn't he say numerous times that homosexuality shouldn't be criminalized, even if traditional Catholicism reaffirmed it was a sin? He pushed a lot for LGBT to be treated properly, from what I know. Gray replies, that doesn't erase the Canada Apology World Tour, and the bar is through the floor. The way the reconciliation thing was handled pissed off Indigenous people. I don't really care about his normal perspective on LGBT views when he's still backing the worst group in history that they block this, whatever they set out. Indigenous people historically to give a bad apology and wear a headdress, parentheses, not permissible even by the nation that allowed him to, because you gotta earn that. It was very messy, and I'm still mad. I cannot explain how bad the entire summer was for Indigenous people. Before I'm LGBT, before I'm anything else, I'm Indigenous, and I take my racial background very seriously. So again, they mentioned that a native group specifically gave him the headdress to wear. So he has, according to that group, earned the right to wear it. I don't know why I have to even fight that, because you can just wear whatever the fuck you want. But if a tribe has declared the Pope has earned it, the Pope has earned it. I mean...
Yeah.
Mhm.
You got to stop complaining at that point. Even your own people are telling you to shut up.
Yeah, like they're saying, oh, the natives are mad, but I don't really care that a native tribe gave it to him. That's not fair. Like, they gave it to him.
Well, it's like they don't care what you think then.
Mim replies, I understand that, and I wasn't trying to erase or speak on that, especially since it isn't my place to do so. I was appreciating the homosexuality topic, since that was a reason so many people had faith in him, since the church has been, and probably will be now, extremely conservative, which is why so many of us are also upset about the passing of him. Then Gray replies, the church has always been oppressive. The system never was meant to accept homosexuality or transness from its very core. And I'm speaking as someone raised Catholic. The Pope used a slur, F-slur, to describe gay men, and said that gay people can't enter the seminary before. Plus, he still believed gay marriage is a sin, but shouldn't be a crime, which is very backhanded. He specifically said something that's blocked out in quotes. In what he said before in regards to homosexuality, he considered being gay a disease. Based Pope. Calm down, Chad.
Yeah, calm down, Chad.
He got the equivalent of the end pass from the indigenous people. Yeah. I mean, yeah, kind of. They gave him the hat. Unironically, the Pope rolled up like Peter Griffin with that little sash that says King of the Black People. And he's like, they respected me for saying it. I know that the Pope rolled up into the res, and the tribal elders put like a fucking headdress on him, and they're like, you are now King of the Native Americans. Unfortunately, there's a lot of deep-rooted beliefs in that regard, and oh, this is Mim, by the way, sorry. He definitely wasn't perfect and did a lot of wrong, though the disease part isn't true, but was heavily misinterpreted / genuine. But for a pope, he did a lot of what others couldn't and wouldn't. He also, with his last breath, denounced the Trump administration and also demanded a ceasefire for Gaza. So while you are very much entitled to be upset with him, we are also entitled to be upset and mourn his passing, especially from fear of who the next pope will be / genuine. I'm not asking to change your views on him, as you have a very valid reason to see him in the way you do, but to understand why we may be upset he is gone as well. And Gray replies, I want the system dismantled. I don't care for popes. I'd rather not hear about his mourning because he and the Vatican piss me off. It's also not very good to say he supported Gaza when he was so back and forth on it for a while, and to actively say he's for Palestinians and against genocide when the very chair he sat in was responsible for genocide around the world and still is, especially for my own people.
Okay, I just want to know, does this person actually live on a reserve in Canada, or are they just, typing from their nice cozy apartment?
They're still going? Oh no, so we are now on their DMs. These DMs are from a month ago, but the Twitter post are from like this week. Mim just replies, all right. Nothing else. Gray replies, generational trauma can't be fixed by the little tour he had. It can't fix the fact my family is so broken thanks to the church. It can't fix what happened to my grandma, nor the millions of indigenous people the church also harmed, and the things he said and did were just not right. He genuinely upsets me. I can't change the fact I'm traumatized and indigenous. That's such a fucking weird way to say that.
Why? Okay, so this is the group chat, right? I just tabbed in a little bit more on this. This is just both of them speaking back and forth. I have to imagine the other people in this group chat are like, what the fuck is going on right now? Mim was literally just saying, I'm sad the guy that's at the head of my church died, and they're going off the fucking rails.
Mim says, I have said I understood, I still do. I said I wasn't trying to change your perspective or view. What I asked is that you understand some of us in here are upset with his passing and the fear of the next pope. It hurts and upsets me that you won't offer us that as well, /genuine. Gray says, everyone can mourn a pope. Nobody but me and my people is mourning the children, men, and women who died at the hands of the church. One man is nothing compared to generations of indigenous people. Indigenous people are always devalued compared to white people, so I'm especially upset. The world is mourning a single man, and nobody seems to care about the damage done, nor the millions of people dead thanks to the Vatican. The assault, the genocide, displacement, everything. Mourning him feels like a joke to me, but I'm not laughing. I'm crying.
We're sure as shit laughing.
This is somebody that wrote, that was all over fucking Archive of Our Own.
I just, this person can't read the room.
Yeah. This is in a group chat, by the way, guys. Right now it's just between Mim and Gray, but other people will get involved in a bit. Mim says, I'm not trying to take it that way, but it isn't fair to Mortimer and I who hold that fear either of what happens next or anyone else who do. Understanding should go both ways. I understand me asking that is not plausible, so I will drop it from here. Gray replies, do indigenous people matter here at all?
Okay, so
Oh my God.
I'll just say that Mims should have just disengaged, because, me and our friends have a
I
group
would have
chat,
kicked him
but
out
when
at
we
this
need-
point. I would have been like, look,
Oh,
you
no,
need to chill the fuck out, or you need to leave.
I agree, but it's just like me and my friends, when one of our friends pisses us off, which occasionally happens because we're all dudes, we'll go to another area and just say, okay, let's cool down because they pissed us off.
Mim replies, for reference, I also come from people and ethnicities that were targeted by the Catholic Church. Also, I'm not saying that, Tony. I said many times that is something I understand. It's also something I cannot speak on, as I am not. I also said many times I'm not trying to change your perspective, and I understand that hurt. The only thing I asked for is to allow us to mourn as well from our experiences, because it isn't about just the passing of him, but the fear who sits in that seat next. Gray replies, also, I understand the fear, though my fear always exists.
They have to have the most oppression.
fuck?
It's literally just, I've been oppressed by them too. And it's just like, yeah, but I've been oppressed longer and hard. Chat, like the stream, by the way. Like the stream if you haven't already. Help this stream continue to grow in likes. How many likes have we gotten on this stream? Chat, help the stream get 80 likes or something for this kind of shit. This is insane.
This is giving me such a headache. Holy shit.
Yes, oppression Olympics. Who can be the most oppressed? And it's just Mims isn't even trying to be oppressed here. They're just saying, I kind of want to feel bad because the Pope died. And they're like, no, you cannot feel bad. You have to think that they're an oppressor just like I do.
Yeah. So Gray says, I understand the fear, though my fear always existed because of the endless damage from the church. I'm also going to fear what comes of the Vatican and any leader behind it. My anger and sadness comes from my peoples being harmed before. We're still harmed. I have deeply rooted religious trauma and still experience that trauma in the present. The generational trauma and ongoing trauma doesn't end for me. Not from Christianity and Catholicism, not from the governing bodies of the Vatican, from none of it. The very tour he took in Canada did so much damage, and people who aren't indigenous don't seem to grasp just how bad it is and how poorly it was handled. Indigenous people don't matter to other people. I don't understand why, and it deeply upsets me. Having blank doesn't help, because I know that my ancestors went through for years. Me, nor my people matter to society. I thought I would matter here more. I can't change anybody's views. That's not my intention. Just the lack of proper understanding cuts deep. I'm not resilient. I can't be. It's really conflicting for me as someone raised Catholic, someone who did mortuary study. Is that mortuary study? Isn't mortuary like under the fuck? Isn't that dead people?
Yeah, that's dead people.
Am I misunderstanding my religiousness?
Sorry, what was it?
It says someone who did mortuary study.
Yeah, mortuary study is the study of dead people.
Yeah, I don't know
my
what the
guess
fuck
is
that
that's like, my guess is that's like the study to become like a mortuary assistant. I have a family member that did something like that, but I would have to.
Yeah, I don't know. They
Wow,
had to have
that's
said
a
something
study.
wrong. I don't. They had to have said something wrong. I don't know what the fuck they're talking about. I'm not resilient. I can't be. It's really conflicting for me as someone raised Catholic, someone who did mortuary study and work, someone who is indigenous. My identity goes above all else, and that's why I'm so deeply hurt by everything going on. Like I said, before all else, I'm indigenous. Being indigenous inherently comes with trauma where I'm from. /AT. Or sorry, from/at. I'm dumb.
Holy shit.
Don't a lot of indigenous really hate that term, or is that just French Canada? I don't know how the Canadians handle it. I know down here in the Americas, you don't say Native American and you don't say indigenous. They say their tribal name.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just I don't know if Sparky's still in chat, but just ask Sparky because like
Like you wouldn't
he's
say
Native
they're
American.
indigenous or Native American, you'd say they're Navajo, or they're from the Navajo tribe.
Yeah.
I've honestly, because I live in an area where the reservation is very close, I've never heard to a Native American person say I'm Native American. Mim replies, thing is, it's not that I don't understand. I do. Both sides of my family have generations of experiences with the Catholic Church, which is why I don't participate in organized religion any longer. Hell, my brother got denied a priest because he killed himself. Wait, what?
Huh?
That's rough. It very much still actively happens, even in small ways. I resent the church as I do religion as a whole. I'm not making excuses. I'm not denying your grief or resentment. I'm not trying to change anyone's minds at all. All I asked for is one thing, to also allow us that grief. Maybe it seems more simple. Maybe it seems like it's not as important, but our feelings are also valid. That is the only thing I asked. I am very familiar with the Catholic Church and what it has done to numerous groups of people, and I'm not trying to say they didn't. I wasn't asking for anything for them. I wasn't asking for understanding for your friends as well. Every message I have sent, I have iterated that I've understood because I do, and it was never the point to trample on your perspective. I had only asked that you understand why we may also grieve this event.
Gray's response is so dumb.
Gray
I distrust
replies,
those giving this man grief.
Gray replies, I distrust those grieving that man. I want that very clear, so I'm scared here. All night and morning. All night and morning, I've been so conflicted. Mim replies, even if we grieve, who will be seated in the future? Gray says, I don't trust the Vatican.
Then leave.
Mim says, do you think we do? But for America right now, we needed everything possible to grasp against what's happening. Gray said, I don't know what to believe given how I'm being treated here. I said my racial background is very serious to me. Mim replies, I literally do not trust organized religion. Why would I trust the Vatican? Gray says, why mourn the Pope then? I can't understand. Mim says, because I fear who will take the seat next. I've said that many times. I fear getting someone who will do even more damage. Gray says, mourning implies care. That's why I'm so pressed. I do not care for the Pope or anybody associated with the Vatican. Mim replies, mourning implies grief. Grief of what will be. Our next lineup of popes are all incredibly conservative. We are allowed to fear that outcome.
You know, I do want to know what Mims thinks of the current pope now that I'm thinking about it.
We might get there because this does go on for a month.
It does? Are you serious?
This is a month ago. This is when the Pope died.
Well, I like, oh my.
Gray says popes are inherently conservative, which technically not wrong. Mim replies, especially because what they do will heavily impact the world. If I could have a world where a religious figure isn't that vital, I would. The fact I'm polytheistic says enough with what I believe regarding the church. I do not trust organized religion due to my history and my own personal experiences, so to assume I do, my own brother was denied his rights even by death in them. Why would I trust them?
Hang on, if he doesn't like believe in the Pope, why is he mourning the Pope?
He's mourning what's to come.
I
It's a very cringe liberal thing. You wouldn't understand.
I guess.
Gray replies, I'm not the one grieving someone terrible. That's my issue here. My issue lies in that grief of someone terrible, then labeling it as concern for the next person. I studied grief, and... I'm sorry, give me a sec. I studied grief. Shut the fuck up.
They studied grief.
I studied grief.
Did you now?
I fucking can't. Sorry, chat. I studied grief and the stuff behind it in depth. That implies care more than anything. That's my issue, and my issue lies in my own identity. The very core of my being and beliefs. Do not turn it around when I'm not the one grieving the Pope.
Ugh.
I don't know why you guys are friends with this person. I'd kick their ass out immediately.
Well, I think they're all the same. That's the problem.
They probably are. Because
It's just this.
this person's just so
Yeah.
much worse.
Exactly. That's the thing. Is like they are slightly more normal. They're just not normal.
Nadine jumps in and says, you two are going back and forth on the same issue. Mim says, we aren't grieving a single man. I've said this many times. You aren't understanding me. Nadine says, how long are you going to keep reiterating points before you see that? Mim says, grief is more than just caring about someone as well. Nadine says, from what I see, you two understand perfectly well and have your own religious trauma from both your backgrounds, and nobody's grieving. Why has it gone so far that both of you are making such assumptions? Mim says, I don't know. I don't think what I'm saying has even been mattering. It genuinely feels like what I'm saying isn't important. Gray replies, I don't feel important. I've been expressing my disdain for the Vatican and anybody associated. Mim says, no one here likes the Vatican or has been excusing it. I've been saying it so much. Nadine says, I thought Mim has said that she understands your points. Mim says, all I asked is that it be understood why we feel the way we do because of the possibility faced. I never implied opposition or anything of the sort. Not once did I ask for that or aim for that. I only asked for empathy of why we are upset and just asking we be allowed that in addition to yours. As much as your feelings are as important to ours as well. That's all I asked for. Gray jumps in. I don't feel like I'm genuinely understood here. I showed a friend our conversation who's also indigenous, and she said I'm being dismissed, so I'm upset. This is, I love it. Oh, I love white girl drama.
Me too.
So I'm
Absolutely
upset.
beautiful.
I hate the Pope. All popes. I hate the Vatican. That can't change, and I want that entire system abolished, so I don't give an ounce of respect to the church. Mim says, so it's being dismissal to acknowledge your feelings. Nadine says, do you want to hear what you want to hear, or do you want to hear our feelings based on our experience? Gray says, to ask to be respected regarding a terrible man and a terrible system behind religion felt wrong to me. When that exact religion is why I'm as traumatized as I am. It angers me. It saddens me. The way I was being talked to, read to me as wrong. I didn't feel acknowledged. I felt dismissed. And Mim posts a couple pictures of, oh, somebody gave a bunch of gifts. Look at that.
Oh, sweet. Thank you so much
Thank you
for the 10 gifted
10
subs.
gifted memberships. Ava, you got a gift. Make sure you say thank you.
Thank you,
Boo
Bantam.
got one too.
Super appreciated, Bantam.
And here, I'll redeem 7 months, I guess. I didn't know I was still part of a member on the channel.
Occo, that doesn't work. Money just goes right back to you.
I know.
You're funding yourself.
I know. I'm supporting the channel, though. Listen, I'm contributing to an emote slot.
Fair. So Mim
Which we need to
replies
add
to
more of.
Gray with a bunch of pictures of her like responding positively to Gray to like show that they have been like acknowledging their bullshit. Gray says, I just don't want to hear about the Pope or Vatican or praises of the Pope's very minimal efforts as a leader. He did the bare minimum, and all I've seen all night and morning was praises and saying how good he was when he wasn't. Seeing friends grieve him upset me. It upset me due to the nature of everything. This person's hilarious.
Thank you, Bantam, for 6 months. Mr. Boog, to repay me more LumLum fish. Yes, please. More LumLum fish.
Oh, this
Don't.
This is terrible.
Chat, if you do more AI of Lumi, please don't do it with her and a stinky fat man. All right, that was kind of terrifying to look at.
Lumi, did they tell you what I said that was?
No.
No.
We were...
And I'm no. You could stop right there. I don't want to know. I don't want to know. Shut the fuck up.
Did you see it?
I did.
No.
I was in chat with everybody, and Dylan says, "Hey Mizu, check your DMs."
Oh, Dylan.
And the first thing I said is, "Why is somebody making AI art of Lumi with Dev?"
Well, he's not gonna get with the. Listen, the way I see it, he's not gonna get with the Fox.
It's the
so
one where it
some
says like
people-
I'm something of a liberal, right? It says something about being a liberal, and I was like, okay, that's clearly Dev. That's what I thought the intention behind it was that it was supposed to be Dev, and everybody was like, no, it's not supposed to be Dev. But I was like,
well, it's just like he's not gonna get with the Fox, so we might as well settle with a fish. I did make art of Mizu with Sylvie. See, now I need art of me with Alara. That would be funny.
no, you can't do that. You'll get in trouble for that.
You have to be with you and your nemesis.
Yeah, but there's no art of my nemesis. Well, there's no good art of my nemesis because my nemesis is cheap. Although I
Also,
would
chat
take
is
that.
pinned in the Lumi AI channel.
I need to unpin that, you little shit.
So after that, Nadine replies, I'm not exactly awake, but all I've seen are exchanges of different viewpoints and explanations as to why people end up in different situations. You're upset for people having a different viewpoint from you. Mim says, what we grieve is the future. If you know what is going on in America right now, you will know why I never asked for respect for the Pope or the Vatican. Nadine adds, people are allowed to grieve who they want for good reason, as Mim has previously. If you associate with them all the trauma and suffering from other people under the same umbrella, you're assuming everyone religious is the same and that there is no problem that should be discussed here. How you're seeing these people, these friends, grieve someone you don't like and that's upsetting you is something you should take up with them. Gray replies, in regards to organized religion specifically, Zianity? I don't know. I guess it's another person. I do. I prefer to not hear praises of the Pope or hearing how he did, quote, good, or how his beliefs were radical when it's the bare minimum and called having basic humanity. Seeing him grieved and mourned for still being as terrible as he was upset me. There's a lot to it. I can't even express it properly. I can't express myself properly. I don't know how to. The Vatican itself is very touchy for me, as well as the Pope. Mim says, I never praised him. I think this is genuinely being assumed of me. I said he was a bad person. Nadine says, I promise you, none of us here have any value or respect for the Pope, the Vatican, or Pope. Gray says, Canada is facing the same issues. We have fascist leaders here. I live in the most conservative part of Canada. I face issues all the time where I'm from. Gray, dear, the most right-wing Canadian makes our most Democrat politician look like Hitler. You guys do not know what left and right is up there.
No, I agree.
Underthetea, have you guys watched the Royalty is Here video on Cinder? It's pretty fair. Probably the best I've seen someone covering the situation. I have not, because I just don't want to watch more content on it.
Nah, when it comes to Cinder, I really just don't give a shit. Sparky is still on that Spurg train. We're gonna let him do it because He has decided. Sparky is one of those guys where he doesn't care what people really think of him, because like he just doesn't.
I just
So
don't
he's gonna
think we
cover
can't
whatever he
change
wants.
people's opinions. I think it's done.
No, I just don't care at this point.
Everybody has
Like,
feet planted, and there's no new information, so I just don't see the value in it.
Yeah, I'm waiting for Cinder to come back to flip the script completely 110% so that everyone can be like, oh, I always liked Cinder. We were just waiting.
Yeah.
I really want that to happen. I really want that to happen so that I can like laugh at a whole bunch of people and say, you fucking lied. You liar. I also want to interview Cinder. Like I want to interview her so badly because I think that would be amazing.
Yeah. But Cinder, if you want to get interviewed by somebody, you should come to me instead because I started this.
Yes. Well, if I do get the okay, I'll ask if you can come in too. I owe it. I owe it because you have been so influential.
Skip it. These aren't really important. Gray says, they say fear, not grieving or mourning. Mim replies, this whole time I've never been trying to take away anything from you. I've been trying to ask for understanding that Nadine is also saying. And then Mortimer chimes in with an essay.
Oh no.
Oh boy.
So this Mortimer person says, reading all of this genuinely just such a big mess of confusing others' words. Genuinely, I did not wish that the next Pope would be as kind as he was, because I genuinely thought of the Pope as a kind man, but because anything less would be considered something absolutely terrible for the state of religion, people's views, and many terrible events. Just like the Canada tour, that would worsen with someone less accepting, even if he was not the best person. Mim had just wanted to bring up a point about the homosexuality that may not have been correct, and never said anything regarding Canadian Indigenous people that would insist. Use some punctuation. Jesus Christ. He did not care or thought less of them and your history, and had stated multiple times the exact opposite. I do agree that grieving and mourning would not be the best words to use, but I do think having conflicting feelings and thoughts is not wrong, and would not make someone accept, embrace that I can't. It's too small. He basically says that she needs to stop being a bitch and people need to stop arguing. But he goes down the same route as everybody else is. The Pope sucks. We're scared of the future, yada yada yada. He ends it with a simple, why would you grieve the Pope? Here's why. I think he is terrible, and we don't grieve him, but we are grieving a little thing we had and worried about what's to come, is literally all this conversation needed to be, which it could have been. So when does Gray come back in? Here we go. Okay, once I have to sneeze. I could feel it. Oh, I hate it.
Bless you.
Thank you. What's so funny?
That was the most feminine sneeze of all your feminine sneezes. That
I agree.
was so quiet and pathetic sounding.
No wonder people still confuse you for a woman.
I don't understand. It's a sneeze.
It was the most pathetic sounding sneeze. If someone was mugging you and he just suddenly sneezed, they'd be like, oh my god, I am so sorry. Here's $20. I'll leave you alone now.
Here's a sneeze, chat. Thank you for the people that said bless you and Gesundheit.
Also bless you. Meanwhile, Lumi sneezes are a Hogwarts. Shut up.
Oh man, I don't know what people think of mine. Lumi just as jealous of your sneezes? Yes.
I know for a fact that's going to be the first fan clip of our show, is just every time I've sneezed.
I'd be fine with that.
Isn't there a fucking gimmick page for VTuber sneezes?
There is.
There
yes.
was, and they got exposed for being a kid.
Oh, are you serious? That's gross.
And then they disappeared.
I scared the lolly with Fat Lumi. Oh, I feel bad for Ava.
Stop making fat Lumi. I would rather kill myself than be fat.
Listen, chat. I think Lumi would be fine being Larry than she would be fat. All right.
Hey, if you make with the male version of Lumi, I could just do some self-cust and have female Lumi and male Lumi just make out.
We're
Yeah,
only
but,
10
like-
pages into this.
Oh, are we gonna read all of them?
No, I can't do that. I would go nuts.
No, I don't think we should read all of them because we'll be here till like 4 or 5 in
Do
the
we
morning.
want to skip to the last couple pages where they're probably getting really angry at each other?
Well, like, is it just continuing? Like, is this?
This
how
is
many
all the
days
same
is
conversation.
this? Is it really?
They
you sure about
some
that,
time
Lumi?
passes here, and then we're on May 6th when originally we were on April 28th ish. Sorry, it's April 21st. Then it skips ahead to April 30th. Then it skips ahead to May 6th. It looks like they killed the chat by doing this, because now they're skipping like multiple days in between posts.
Lumi, how much to get someone to commission someone to make salsa start of yourself? I mean, heck, give me $100 and I can get some decent quality salsa start of male Lumi and female Lumi making out. Self-cust is fucking hot. You guys are making it seem like it's a bad thing.
I mean, as long as it's a male and a female. Although I don't know if I would be okay with.
Oh, I think these are
female version of
DMs now.
myself. Or are they DMs now? Okay.
Yeah, I think they're fighting with each other in DMs.
Leisure suit. Yes, it would be Leisure Suit Larry with
No!
Lumi.
No!
I still really want you to play Leisure
No!
Suit Larry. That would be great.
Gonna put my other project on hold. Boo.
Oh no.
I like this this quote from this one. You're speaking too calmly for me to believe I even matter to you.
What the fuck? Are we supposed to be speaking aggressively to make you understand?
Yeah. Nor do I think you're very honest. When I've seen in instances before you would talk behind people's backs, sounding nice, only to shit-talk the people to our old rank group. So no, I don't trust that you've been very nice all along. Nor do I think you haven't crawled to other losers calling me ignorant for a very bad and major issue that pertains to indigenous people, because only you think that only you're right and that everybody else is wrong. And when faced with me being a brick wall in my beliefs, based off generations, by the way, of trauma, you stand down. That's fucked up of you. Very fucked up, mem. This single specific topic is such a strong one for my people and thousands of other indigenous groups around the world, not only in North America. Yet I was painted as wrong, and from that you spat on the other thousands of indigenous populations around the world, just because you figured you were right to paint me as the villain for being very angry and upset over such a topic that doesn't only affect me, but many others who are indigenous. That's deplorable. You not once properly apologized, you just keep throwing random ass little things to paint yourself as a trusting and understanding individual when you aren't. You've treated me so terribly throughout this process, and never thought about how I felt or how I was affected, and you're so quick to want me gone. And Mim just replies, do you want me to react aggressively? Genuine question. I can tell my words don't matter here, and you've already told me my apologies mean nothing as well. What do you want from me?
It's like saying, hey, hon, you're too soft. Can you be more aggressive when you fuck me?
Also, Fierce Wolf for 10. I'm afraid I can offer small penance, Lumi. My tuition forbids me from dropping 3 digits of super chat. I humbly beg the other chatters to help me raise $100 for Lumi art. I beseech thee.
Oh, you're fine. You don't have to worry about it. I'll put it as a stream goal for my
Next month?
for my next stream and shit.
Well, you could take like $250 from that because YouTube takes a third of that, and then we split it 3 ways.
True.
Hello, Amal. Welcome.
No, I don't mind putting it all to one thing. Doesn't bother me.
Oh no, I was saying we could raise it on my channel since
No, yeah, well, yeah.
This is
True.
Everyone's channel.
Yeah, you can take the $7 from that one super chat when it comes in, Mizu, and give my part of it to her.
So, Gray replies with that, I don't know. And then 4 days later, Gray returns. Whatever you told Nadine to make them block me, thanks. Bold of you to try and get upset. I consulted other people when you do the same. I consulted level-headed indigenous people to get other opinions when this all began, because I know I get emotional and hot-headed. Everyone still agreed with me, those I have consulted. You should know people with BPD always get another opinion in serious cases. I thought you would have known, and Nadine and Mortimer wouldn't because they don't seem to have BPD. It's such a... I wish you would have stood up for me. Nobody did. You never will. I shouldn't have expected any of you to understand me. I was mistaken to trust everybody. I want to speak up so badly about Nadine and you. Rip isn't truly inclusive to have shunned me the way you both have. VTuber spaces don't need racists around, and if I need to speak up on social media, I will. If need be, I haven't received a proper apology, and Nadine will never apologize to me. Mortimer hasn't before cutting me off. You're all racist as hell, and I'm still upset. I keep waiting and waiting for something, anything, an apology, but none of you care. When you tried to sound concerned about my isolation, I don't think you realized I'm isolated in this case because of the incident. Nothing was done to alleviate that. I'm still isolated. I expressed how y'all are my only friends, and I'm alone. I have nobody.
It sounds like a personal problem, my guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like this, I didn't think they would talk to other people because they don't have BPD. What the fuck does that mean? You don't ask your friends their opinion on shit unless you have BPD? That's such a random ass thing to say. I see that a lot with other things though, like it's huge with like autistic, where people are like, oh, I played a song 200 times in a row, just autism things, and it's like, no, that's just people things. Fucking
yeah,
weirdo.
Like, yes, autistic people do that sometimes, but like,
So do regular
like
people.
Yeah, exactly.
Somebody
I'm not
hears a
special
song
for
they
it.
like and they just play it into the dirt. It's pretty common.
Exactly. Like
Yeah.
I played Hosier the other day like 20 times. It's not just a me thing.
Yeah.
I'm sure a bunch of random girls like to listen to them on occasion. So, you know,
Exactly. Mim.
like 20 times. Not just a bunch of random.
I have apologized several times. I'll be honest and say
Oh,
it doesn't
hello?
seem like what you want from me is an apology.
Oh shit, Mizu's dead.
What? It is.
You
Quiet
cut off.
for a moment. Hello?
Here, hi.
Hi.
You can hear me.
Yes.
I think I gotta wait for, not stream health is fine.
I think it might should have been Discord being Discord.
No, it looks
Oh.
like it lagged a little bit on stream. It's probably fine now, though.
I'll be right back.
Occo can't leave. I'm reading, like, Peak right now.
I'm sorry, I gotta turn on the AC. I'm like burning up in here.
Run! Run!
Run!
Damn, did they try therapy? I mean, general, not for specific stuff. It's because Lumi switched hats. Yeah, we'll blame Lumi on that one.
I'll take off my undiagnosed hat.
Oh, you gotta keep it now. It's on there.
Okay.
Undiagnosed, but something ain't right. You know what I could do? I want to see if it's still in here.
What?
Let me see.
I know why I'm burning up. It's like 87 degrees in my apartment.
Here we go, chat. The return of the bigotry baton.
Yes, I'm so happy that I made the bigotry baton. It's perfect.
Here, I'll make it a little bigger so people can see it. The return of the bigotry baton. So Lumi's got our autism going on over there, and I've got the bigotry. Akko's just
I
the
know
token.
exactly what,
Akko's the token
No.
indigenous woman tonight.
I know what to do. I know what to do. I'll put something on that's just as good.
Chat says they love the hat, Lumi.
Yay, thank you.
Mim replies to that essay with, I have apologized several times. I'll be honest and say it doesn't seem like what you want from me is an apology. If you want communication from the others, it's something you would have to ask them for. I also wasn't aware Nadine blocked you. They were probably under the same belief I was and thinking you want nothing to do with us. Gray says, I shouldn't have to ask for an apology. That's just not the thing I need to do here. It's on all of you, not me. I've been patient, and nothing thus far. Y'all aren't friends at all if I have to wait, and while I'm waiting, I'm actively blocked out and ignored and neglected. Y'all were never my friends if this is how you treat people. Crying every night waiting isn't how you treat friends. Pim replies again, everyone most likely thought you wanted nothing to do with any of them, thinking that would lead to people be wary and reaching out. If you thought someone hated you and didn't want anything to do with you, would you reach out? General question. Or genuine question. Grace says, I wish everyone would stop assuming. Everybody always said that to communicate, but many times I've seen how y'all don't. I should have taken that as a warning that y'all would do that to me one day. I'm open to talk. I've been talking to you. No. If I thought someone hated me, I ask. I talk. I always do that. I'm straightforward with people. I'm direct. That's something you learn when you've talked to many people. This is fucking wild. Missing context. Is this a VTuber? This is a VTuber from a VTuber group.
Yep.
It's come to my attention to remind everyone that this person is close to 30. Yes, this is not a child.
Yeah, I just like am listening to my nemesis right now. That's all I'm doing. Like, if I just put this in like Don's voice, I feel like that's exactly what I'm hearing right now. That's how bad they are.
Gray goes on, do I need to provide sources for why I was upset online or something if y'all wouldn't find the sources, if y'all were so inclined to see proof for historical things that upset me and my reasoning for why the Pope was not something I would want to see mourning of within specifically my vicinity? This is 3 weeks out, by the way. It's like 3 weeks after the Pope conversation is fucking over. If Nadine isn't educated in this, nor anyone else, my friend who teaches children who is indigenous, who is the main person I consulted in this, parentheses, mostly due to being around each other more due to our personal issues and similarities and time together, in parentheses, is the one who informed me history is taught in the US depending on the state. They told me that most of you and Mortimer should have known if your curriculum covered it at all. It's grade school stuff to know about genocide and the effects of the church. It's just this specific topic that's so touchy to me, which is why I wasn't so keen on finding resources because of the stuff my family has been through. I've been fine on everything else, had it not involved a hierarchical figure of such a religion. You know, I'm fine talking about anything, just not this specifically, as it makes me volatile. It's a fucking wild conversation, dude.
Just,
It is.
oh my god.
To reiterate, it's not that we needed proof to justify anything, since, again, we were on the same side as you. We just wanted to try and understand, hence me looking into it. You say that your friend says it's taught, but it wasn't. It was never taught in any of my classes. It's split into US history and world history. The church is not mentioned aside from when the Spaniards arrived and when the British came to the United States. The only time Canada is mentioned at all is the French-Canadian War. Recent history is not taught aside from World War II, though maybe it is now. Gray replies, my friend's 25. I'm 28. We were both taught in the past. Yeah. Yeah. That's about when school would have happened.
Yep.
We were both taught in the past. Can't say I was present at the time it was taught. I just... wait.
What?
I have to prepare myself to read this. Or I'm gonna crack up if I don't. Just give me a minute.
Is it that? Wait.
My friend's 25. I'm 28. We were both taught in the past. Can't say I was present at the time it was taught. I just know from my other alters, and I was big in indigenous spaces around 2020 to 2022.
No!
Oh, fucking god. The idea is striking again.
No!
I don't remember. It wasn't me. It was my imaginary friend, Steve.
Give me a sec. It gets worse. My friend, same for him as he's a system host, but he's well aware due to being active in indigenous and Mexican Latin-based communities. He made me think that it's taught based off his word. Another friend who's 21 and raised in the South was taught this as well, also indigenous Mexican. I like how this person says that they literally don't know what they're talking about, that they are being told by somebody else that this is history, and they haven't actually looked it up. This is insane shit. This is like proper crazy people. Other indigenous folks I've consulted, less intensively, also agreed they were taught, all ranging from 21 to 26, as well as black friends. I have a black friend. I've consulted, aside from this, who are 25 and 27, one black Mexican and the other black Irish Indian, who agreed they were taught, one from the South and the other from North New York. Which is why I was so pressed, as my friends from all over the US were all taught, and said it's taught in most areas in the curriculum. That's why I was upset. I can tell you for a fact, we did not learn dick about the Vatican invading Canada. I don't know when this happened. I think it's your craziness convinced you it happened.
Yes.
They're alternate personalities of different races and backgrounds. They're claiming these are real people. So, are they actually Indian, or is their alter an Indian?
That's
Okay.
no.
That's a non-zero
to-
chance.
I decided to go to this person's card, and it's like, okay, 28, he, him, it's trans, masculine, butch, lesbian.
They're a woman.
Yes.
Okay. Understood.
Mem replies to that insane screed. You say all this, yet it was not taught in my classes ever. I mean this seriously, and I cannot continue to argue this point, and there's no changing that. You also keep saying you have all these friends, but then you say you have no friends. I'm a bit confused. That's true. They're sitting here talking about how they're all alone and isolated, and they're like, so I asked my 500 friends, and all of them said you're wrong.
I received a message from a random fan, I'm not going to say who, that says, Mizu's tweet thread makes me want to go full low-tier god on this person. I'm indigenous because of my quote-unquote alters.
It's a woman pretending to be a man? Yes.
Oh, this is terrible. I'm glad somebody in chat asked like what I put in the title, because I would have forgotten about it, honestly. Of course it happened, told to me by an atheist professor retelling how religion works. Of course the Christians are always bad. Yeah. Just because I have people I talk to doesn't mean we talk outside of social media. We don't actually hang out. That's fucking sad, bro.
Yeah.
Like, even people I've talked to on social media that don't even, like, publicly like me, I've hung out with. I don't know how you're so insufferable that these people that agree with you won't hang out with you.
Yeah.
Only the one I hung out with yesterday, who I've been around mostly, but even then, being around them is tiring, being that they vent about an ex-friend constantly to me, and I cannot be people's therapist right now. I love this person. This is great. They're like such a blatant hypocrite about absolutely everything, and they spit it out without even thinking. I don't have regular friends, and nobody talks to me on any given day. No conversations outside social media interactions. Just interacting on Twitter isn't a real friendship. I'm often alone most of the time. I wouldn't lie about company I have or lack. Mim says, I understand that. I'm sorry for prying into that. I just don't know why you'd want to be friends still with people you don't trust or think are racist. Wouldn't you want
That's a good
Wouldn't you want to forget about them and move on to other people?
It's a good point. Why are you still my friend if I'm racist?
Gray replies, I give people too many chances. Haven't you been there before? Mim says, I have, and I do several times, but the way you speak about us sounds like you are final in thinking that way about us. Gray says, I wasn't sure how I'm coming off. I don't know what other people think about what I'm saying unless I'm told. That's a fucking lie. Like, you're sitting here saying you're horrible, racist, and you're all evil, and you refuse to apologize to me. And Mim's just like, so you don't like us? And she's like, oh, I didn't say that. What do you mean you didn't say that? I never know the weight of my words nor what I'm saying comes off as. My intentions never usually line up with my words. I never know how to express myself, as it was never allowed in my home nor in many social spaces I've been in. I don't know how to express myself with my words. I've been giving the space as I felt you all hated me, but I wanted to give room for an apology if y'all truly aren't racist.
What the fuck?
She can't, like, let it go. I've been giving the benefit of the doubt and room to grow, but I was met with being blocked and being told not to talk to anybody. And Mim says, do you want me to explain how it's been coming off? She says, I would appreciate that because I don't know. Mim replies, I'll be honest and say it has been incredibly hostile and accusatory. It seems final in deeming us as people who are racist with no room for any doubt, which I will say doesn't feel accurate for any of us or follows anyone's beliefs. I can also say we are very convinced you wanted nothing to do with us and wanted us to give you space since we thought you were through with us permanently, which is why it caught me off guard you reached out. As you've said, though, I can't say that is or isn't your intention or what you believe or feel, but it's how it has seemed to me. Gray replies, usually if I'm final on something, I'm the first to block. Okay, bro.
They're just like saying, oh no, you'll know. You'll know when it's time, because I'll be the one blocking you.
I gave Ye the benefit of the doubt when they blocked me first, and on everything too. They turned to other friends to tell about me and left it there. I cut them off solidly, as they cut me off, and mutually blocked back. If I block someone, that's my way of showing I'm firm in a decision. When my ex blocked me and removed me from everything, I haven't blocked that back. If I want to keep ties with someone, I don't block back. That is stalker behavior a little bit there. Guys, my ex blocked me, but I'm not gonna block him because I want him. I know he'll come back one day.
That is weird.
That's not happening, hon. Pack it up. I think what I try to imply isn't clear. I try to speak through implications when not actively talking people, like hints and context clues. You aren't giving hints and context clues. You just said they're all evil racist. I don't know where you're... This is the opposite. This is the complete opposite of the girlfriend that's like, I've been dropping hints on him all day. And it's like, she walked from one room to the other in a specific order and expected him to just know what that meant. This is the complete opposite. This is the girl that's like, literally sat on the bed completely naked with a sign that says, we're having sex tonight. And he's like, I don't know what that means. Mim replies, I mean, I get that. I've been the same way, but I also know it causes a lot of confusion, misconceptions, and even tension. And I think, or rather, I'm positive that's what happened as well. And then we skip ahead 15 days. These are connected to the same screenshot. So after 15 days, they have not had any personal private communication. This was sent 3 days ago, so this is about the newest we have. You know, I'd prefer if you made some fucking effort. That's how they opened the conversation. You don't care about me, like at all. We were never friends with this neglect, and how openly and easily you were racist. You not once tried to say you weren't racist and went with it, so you are.
Wow.
This person is nutter butters, bro. Why have you not blocked? Mim, why have you not blocked this person yet? Like, after somebody sent me that, I'd be like, you're fucking nuts, dude, and just block. There's
If
no
I sent you this, I expect you to block me.
There's no conversation after that. It's like, yeah, no, I'm fucking done. Peace. You know what's funny, chat, about them saying, I'd prefer if you made some effort? They spelled effort wrong. It's I'd prefer if you made some fucking effort. And then you misspell, like, effort. Like, come on, bro. Mim replies, if I told you I wasn't racist, you wouldn't have wanted to believe what I said. Gray says, I also hate how you fucking kidnapped and pure vanilla with your privilege and pale complexion. It's just offensive how you walk around freely as if you aren't public enemy number one. This person is so wild, dude.
Oh, this person gives me a fucking headache.
Gray says, make some damn effort. I'm not a friend since I'm not worth fighting for. You don't care about me. You never have. Even when I implied, like, wow, TikTok would be fun, you never bothered asking.
What?
When my other friends asked, I matter to them. Not to you or your fucking clique with that idiot Nadine and that racist white demon Mortimer.
I'm sorry.
Racist white demon.
Racist white demon.
I love this.
Dude. Why were these people friends?
I fucking can't.
Can I be the racist white demon?
This would go hard as a TV show drama. This is one of those Mexican telenovelas.
Yes, it is. What we need is we need somebody that speaks Spanish to like come in and narrate this. Lumi, awaken your Spanish side.
Awaken my Spanish side. Give me a couple of weeks. I'm sure I could.
Okay, good.
I just have to read through it again. Not to you or your fucking clique with that idiot Nadine and that racist white demon Mortimer.
Racist white demon. Racist white demon. The demons, don't you know, they're racist and white. Oh Lord, save me from the racist white demon named Mortimer.
To be
That
fair,
doesn't
Mortimer
sound like a
is a
demon's
very
name.
white name.
I've officially lost all of my fucking brain cells. I can't.
You ate all the super glue. Of course you lost all your brain cells.
Thank you for the $1, Fluffy. It's appreciated.
Very much appreciated.
Mim replies to that fantastic opening barrage. I highly believe that you don't want to view me or anyone else further than racist. You made very harsh and inaccurate accusations during the duration of this. Naturally, it would make me uncomfortable to reach out as often as before when it seems like you just hate me. This is very unhealthy to be caught in this loop for both of us right now. Also, what TikTok? For the record, I'm not racist at all. I grew up entirely surrounded by people of color, and I'm extremely liberal, and I pride myself in that fact. Gray replies, then why was I invalidated and shut out? That all reads as racist, and you've done nothing to fix anything as the perpetrator.
Can we change
Okay.
the BGM to the Uncle Ruckus thing?
I'm not in the mood to get claimed right now, I'm sorry.
It's
I
like
mean, it would
I was.
fit.
It's like I'm half Mexican. I was raised around a bunch of Mexicans. You will never meet anyone more racist than a group of Mexicans.
Oh yeah, or Asians. I'm gonna be honest with you.
It's like, okay, there was this one dude that I used to work with before my job cut ties with the fucking employment agency, whatever that they were working with, because that's where a lot of the temps came from.
Mhm.
AKA that's where all the illegals came from.
Yeah.
But anyways, it's like when he was talking about one of the other people that we worked with, it's like, okay, I need a translator. And I was like, okay, what's this man saying? And then he just looks at the translation. He's like, yeah, that's right. I look down at it and I'm like, Why is the hard R in here at least 3 times?
Yeah.
It's just, I'm like, you're talking about him, and he is like, yeah, the N-word. I'm like, please. I can't call him that.
Oh my gosh.
Here, chat, I'm gonna swap over to the document, because you're not gonna get the same understanding of like how this person is typing if I'm not showing it, because of the weird way they're starting to space shit.
You should zoom in just a tiny bit.
Nah, there's not much I can do about that.
Fair enough.
Pretty sure this is as close as I can get. What if I do this capture? No, wrong window.
You can't do Control Plus?
Well, I have to like readjust all my windows and shit, and it's just gonna cause more problems than it's worth.
Fair enough.
Gray says, why was I invalidated and shut out? That all reads is a racist, and you've done nothing to fix anything as the perpetrator. At TikTok, you mentioned sending stuff to people in the IDV server, and I nudged like mentioning I have TikTok, but I don't matter, clearly. Even Zinko doesn't have me on there as much as I push her. Like, I don't matter at fucking all. Never included, always outcast. Never a friend, but you don't fucking care, clearly, because you are handed everything.
I just want to walk up to this person and give them a slap on the face and saying, no!
Bad.
Bad.
Stop it.
Bad.
Also, night, Mr. J.
No, Mr. J.
Night, Mr. J.
Mim says, handed everything. Also, that was cute. Lumi got the cute
What?
sneezes going.
Oh.
That was a
I
Lumi
thought that was her
sneeze.
laughing.
That wasn't a sneeze, that was me snickering a little bit.
That sounded like a sneeze.
I can assure you, my sneezes are loud.
I know, I've heard them. Are
Yeah,
you sure
me
that's a
too.
snicker?
Shut up.
Like, what is that noise?
I can
I
hear
don't
it across
Oh,
state
they're just
lines.
noises that come out. But anyways, I'm gonna quick go grab a popsicle. I'll be right back.
Control+0 will reset your windows. But it is the regular size. I'm not zoomed out. It's just if I zoom in, I'm gonna have to like redo my window setup so it centers on the screen correctly. Because if not, it's gonna be like all over the place. But this is a wild doc. I love it. What do you think so far, Occo?
I haven't seen something this unhinged and insane for like since the early days of the podcast. So, you know, I'm very glad that this is existing.
Oh yeah.
Like, what I want to do is I want to have like a dramatic retelling of this and just posted it as a YouTube video and then at like the gray person and say, this is what you sound like. That's obviously not a good idea, so we wouldn't do it. But like, I want them to be like, this is what you sound like, and then just read it so dramatically. It's so bad. You were handed everything. Side note, I have been inspired to make an outfit. I think I'm gonna work on an outfit for my first model. It probably won't be that expensive either.
Yeah, what outfit?
Surprise.
Oh, and did you see all the new gesture VTubers? Well, gesture outfits for VTubers that have been coming out?
I have not.
I did. I saw that a lot of people are being jesters now, and it's just like everybody is repeating me. What the fuck? At first, everybody became a Gyaru, and now everybody's becoming a clown.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure you saw it when I first released Little Mizu. And like a month later, 10 different people had boob balloons.
Yeah.
Yep.
Everybody just saw it and is like, that's a great idea. I'm taking that.
Like, I'm not going to say that people copied me because I'm very tiny and that I don't care.
You'd be
But,
surprised what people see and they just don't address it directly.
I guess. I mean, like, I'm going to say that here's what I'll say. Dizzy has definitely inspired me to do some outfit alterations on my main model.
Fair.
Who's Dizzy? I know like two.
Dizzy from Phase Connect.
Anyways, what's better, Occo, this or Johnny's Minecraft trees? It's a mix.
Oh, that's raw. I'm still gonna say Johnny's trees.
Yeah. Although I can feel the colonizer in me speaking loud on those trees. Mim replies, handed everything how? Also, you said you didn't add people on there, so I took it as you didn't want to. We've also spoken numerous times about the situation. I'm unsure what else you want me to do, as I've even asked you what you want me to do a few times. It feels as if you want to vent out your frustration of the situation on me rather than anything coming from it from my perspective. It feels as if you don't want to see me any more than what happened during that incident when I've explained and apologized several times. I've explained I never wanted to invalidate you. I explained I never saw indigenous individuals or you as lesser or anything of the sort. The only reason I said anything was only because of the pattern in the group. I apologize for my wrongdoing and having done so despite not having those intentions, as well as my lack of knowledge on the topic. And then Gray says, of course you won't see how you're privileged. You're just like, yay. Don't be friends with these kind of people. Just like call it a day and move on. Genuinely. These people suck. Mim says, right, that's what you want to think. Again, you don't know anything about me. You can make the assumptions off of 3 months, but it's not true. But if I tell you that, you won't believe me. You want to think what fits what you already assumed about me. And Gray replies, it's what I observed, but get defensive, I guess. Also, being liberal has nothing to do with how you've been racist. Liberals can be racist, too. Which, I mean, true.
Mm-hmm.
I love this fight, though. Oh, it's beautiful. Mim says, rightfully, a person will defend themselves when there's assumptions being made. Because I didn't defend myself before, it's an issue to you now, so yes, I will tell you I'm not racist. What happened had nothing to do with me somehow being that way either, and I understand it's what you want to focus on, but that was never the reason I said anything when it all happened. I've already accepted my ignorance in the matter, but to accuse and demand I'm racist when I'm not? I've already tried to learn and move on from it, but it feels like you don't want to see that happen. Again, tell me how I've been handed everything as well. Since you very much think I have been handed everything I've worked for, I don't have to explain myself to you any further than this if you don't want to listen. And Gray says, I don't know what the fuck that means. Mother has a chair in the city, big lead in things. You have enough money to commission things all the time and buy DoorDash and splurge on purchases all the time, yet still talk about expenses as though you're genuinely broke. You have a roof over your head and 2 living parents. You're not understanding my issue with your racism since I'm actively being outcast. I do not matter to you, which is only showing more of how me and my side means nothing at all. I spoke up and I'm being kicked out. Happens all the damn time for me. I expected a lot better. If you are constantly speaking up and getting kicked out of all your friend groups when you do, maybe you're the problem. That's a thing to consider. Mim says, dude, I grew up with my mom who is disabled and we were poor for 18 years of my life, making less than 15K a year. I had to eat once a day via free school lunches. She was only in her seat for a couple of years now, and she never helped me financially in any way. I moved out because of the abuse I faced from her as well, is from my sister who even sexually abused me. I splurge and go into the negative off of money I make because of having grown up poor and not having those luxuries. I gift and commission because I like to support other people even when it puts me in a bad financial situation. 2 living parents, sure, yet I never knew my dad until a year and a half ago when I had to go somewhere else so I didn't off myself. And you already know about my brother. I've worked for everything I have and still struggle. I have to pay my own way through school because I don't get support, which is why I dropped out. I already said this. I'm done with this. Gray says, yeah, this sounds like some contest you're making because I've experienced much the same and boo-hoo never asked. Holy shit. I don't know what to do about that.
You know, I think these many posts in Google Doc is probably my favorite of the ones we've covered this year.
I mean,
Is
sadly there
wild.
isn't a lot this year, but yeah, this is. I mean, like it's just looping back and forth and back and forth.
Gray does get worse, like, as time is going on. Like, I fucking love this boohoo never asked. You sound like a psycho.
No, yeah, I agree.
Like, this is the thing, right, that I think a lot of people need to understand. Like, you don't necessarily have to be somebody's babysitter if they're trauma dumping on you, but there's, like, a way to handle that. Like, I'm not saying this is trauma dumping. They're, like, having a kind of oppression Olympics a little bit here, mostly because Gray keeps trying to push that Mim is a privileged person that doesn't understand how bad life sucks sometimes. But even if it's, like, somebody trauma dumping, the way you have to handle it is be like, look, I'm not the person to deal with that. You need to go talk to somebody. Not, oh, boo-hoo, bro, never asked. Because then you just look like an asshole.
Mm-hmm.
Mim says, you want me to make assumptions? You want to make assumptions? Okay, but you don't know me. It's not, it's true, but thanks for assuming. Again, you don't know me. You made an image of me in your head, and that's what you want to believe. Gray says, you've been racist and refuse to do anything to make up for it. Mim says, I'm not racist again, but if you truly think so, what is it you want me to do? Again, everything with this situation, I've done research to learn, I've explained, and I've apologized. You don't want me to grow from this, you want me to grovel. Gray says, look who's assuming now. Also, you haven't learned anything.
Jeez.
Mim says, right. Gray says, treating me poorly isn't learning. You're perpetuating the same racism we walked into all of this with. Mim says, explain in what way? Gray says, outcasted after speaking up as one. Mim says, you say I'm treating you poorly, yet you make accusations and name call. Gray says, neglected after speaking up. Mim says, well, each time we talked. Gray says, I'm allowed to be mad is the thing. I was never treated better after everything. Mim says, you never gave anyone a chance either. Gray says, I'm the victim of blatant racism, and I don't matter to you nor anyone else. You've never bothered talking to me. It's always going to you because it's always this way when I speak up. I'm the one having to do anything first. Mim says, I don't know what you expected me to do after all the name calling and hostility. Send memes or art or ask how your day is. Fluffy for super chat for 5. No context at all to what's happening. This gray person sounds like a meanie. Is this an accurate assessment? I think that is a very accurate assessment. They're a big meanie head.
Mm-hmm.
Big meanie poo-poo head. They need to be nicer. And actually go talk to a real therapist, not whatever fucking weirdo told you had a billion mental disorders. Mim says, speaking genuinely, for this to start working, the hostility just has to be mediated somehow. I've tried to explain, I've tried to apologize. None of it has mattered. You've told me actively, none of it has. I've asked what I'm supposed to do. You always say you don't know. What am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to even do that won't make things worse? Gray says, it isn't up to me to beg for better treatment, yet here I am. I don't know. Figure it out as the person who needs to apologize better and make up for what happened. I'm the victim, not the perpetrator. Figure it out. It shouldn't be up to me.
God, I hate this person.
Mim says,
Yes, I do.
what
too.
happens when I try and it doesn't matter? It's up to you. It's up to you when it regards your feelings, because only you can know what you want to see. Gray says, it isn't up to me to give answers. Figure it out. You're such an ass. I need to actually know if you actually want a friendship at this point. Every signal leads to no. Gray says, I'm getting really close to dumping screenshots online. My cries go unheard, and I don't matter given how you're talking to me, expecting me to give you answers when I was the one who was hurt. But it don't matter to you, and I never have. I've been sad and shaken every time I've spoken to you because you haven't made any improvements whatsoever. Mim says, you're also trying to blackmail me as well. Gray says, it's so easy for people to lie to me and pretend to care, only not to. I've been stuck on whether or not to be public about this because you may do this to others, and I don't want others to face what I'm feeling from your end. Just as a by the way, like with a lot of people from the Shy Lily Cinder thing have specifically made documents for this reason. There has been a severe uptick in documents where the excuse in it is they may be treating other people this way.
Yeah.
Almost every like stupid call-out document that should have been handled privately had that as a reasoning somewhere within it. This is different, sort of, because it's like a defense of yourself, so they do kind of have a point to release it all, because the other person is just running around acting like a spastic. Although, granted, in that case, I would have just said, yeah, they're a spastic, I don't care. They don't necessarily need to address this. Minority Report, but pathetic in Google Docs.
Hey, Lumi, I sent you a message.
Okay.
I have tried so often to showcase my care when I've talked about this. I've had sleepless nights worrying about you to the point it's followed me into my dreams. I was worried several times thinking you were spiraling and I didn't know what to do. Gray replies, especially with your manager being the first to be hostile towards me for speaking up about the racist remarks. Mim says, I've already learned from this event. Everything I have said in this conversation has been my personal feelings and experiences from the way you've made assumptions. I took the time to learn and process the situation already. I can't speak for everyone else, since contrary to popular belief, I haven't been talking to them that much. But no one here has ever been a bad person, no one, not you, not anyone else. People do shitty things. People learn from shitty behavior to do better. That's the point of being human. Gray says, easy to say since I've been kicked from spaces, so I can't see anything. And for being inactive on Twitch, for all I know, you could be lying to me. Easy way to make everyone seem innocent when you, Nadine, and Mortimer treated me so grossly. Easy for you to say when you weren't on the receiving end. Mimdoki says, you've only been kicked from the group as everyone was. If you don't believe me, you're free to check my VODs as proof. I will say at this point, I'm not sure we're going anywhere. I look through our past conversations. I've tried time and time again to mend what's happened, and it genuinely feels like it doesn't matter. This is unhealthy. Gray says, I work full time, and I have no time for myself. What makes you think I'd watch VODs? God forbid I'd be mad about being treated poorly time and time again. It's unhealthy of you, and I'm not treated better, nor am I being treated like a friend at all. Oh wait, this is how you treat your friends in the server I was kicked from, because that space had incriminating evidence. So yes, maybe I am treated as a friend since you treat them so poorly. Mem says, if you took anything in my server of 10 years as me poorly treating my friends, I'm afraid that was very inaccurate. They could very much vouch for that. Also, no one is saying you can't be mad. What's unhealthy is the cycle. It's constant at this point. Because of that, I'm sorry, I won't be responding about this topic any further. We tried time and time again. You're free to reread everything that's been sent, but I'm done. I've already assessed everything. I've already accepted any wrong. I've done my own research. However, you don't want to believe, nor do you want to see further than the image you've created of me. By the way, this was Mim's document. Mim says, here's the godforsaken evidence. If he tries to say I came up with everything, just for the sake of it, heavy trigger warning. Oh, this is them giving their private garbage. You don't need that. It's just them talking about their tragic family life and backstory.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's just that stuff. That's not important. I mean, I guess it's important to like Gray, but we don't need to litigate your life story.
Yeah. They this is also fucking stupid. But it was entertainment for us.
Oh
It
yeah.
was not. Well, I mean, yeah, it was entertaining for sure.
No, they were a crazy person. I don't know how they ended up there. I'm glad we covered that though. That was, even though I'm the one I
We
think
need-
took the brunt of the damage.
I mean, hey, it was we needed something funny to, you know, cope with the bullshit that we've just been seeing on Twitter for the past couple weeks.
Oh, 100%.
Oh yeah, the Twitter's been
A mess.
yeah.
I'm gonna stop sharing screen. I don't think it's important. So what did you... I don't know if I want to play that, Occo.
It's a good song though. You don't have to, but it's a good song.
Occo, we gotta be polite and good here. We have to be good peoples.
All right.
But chat, I hope we didn't kill your brain cells too hard.
I mean, hey,
I'll
and
play it on stream
nothing
tomorrow, chat.
nothing will ever top the sex fest that refused to shower.
True,
Yeah,
true.
I kind of am sad that I missed that one, but I think that there was we were both covering different things.
It took us 12 hours to get through everything, Occo. If you didn't want to.
I know.
But are you guys solid with that for the night?
Yep.
Yeah,
I'm-
I mean, like we've been
I'm good
going
with
for
that.
3.5 hours, so
Yeah. Well, night chat. I'm gonna send you all to Sayu because we love Sayu
Yay.
here.
Yep.
Night chat.
Night chat.
night chat.